your life matters too. Your life matter. Hashtag your life matter. Exactly. Follow the necessary protocols.
COVID-19 protocols.
Avoid crowded places. Wash your hands. Mask up when you're in public. In fact, avoid places where there are too many people for your own good. Okay, so this is very important. Once again, you're welcome to Oluyole 98.5 FM, and the program on the airwaves right now is Conversation with Dayo and Tola. We're live on the radio network of the Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State, straight out of our studios right here at Ileakede Orita Bashoron here in Ibadan. We're also live on our sister stations to wit Agility 92.1 FM, Okiogun 96.3 FM, and of course, let's appreciate our wonderful audience on our social media platforms, feedback channels, facebook.com/Oluyole 98.5 FM, and Twitter at Oluyole FM. Go ahead on those platforms, type in the search bar on those platforms, Oluyole 98.5 FM on Facebook, Oluyole FM on Twitter. You watch us live. We're streaming live on those two platforms. Check us out on Instagram, Radio Garden, and Mixler, the online radio platform. We are right there. Mixler.com/Oluyole FM. Our website remains the same: www.bcos.tv/listen. And talking about BCOS, our television station, this morning celebrated 1 full month of 24 hours broadcast.
Uninterrupted 24 hours.
You can say that again. So 1 full month. Some people say, there was only that 24 hours. They will soon stop now. Well,
what is a rebranded BCOS? New BCOS.
1 month don't work out. And the TV is still on 24/7. Okay, so it's a good one, and we want to appreciate the management led by the able chairman for achieving this feat. It's been long coming, actually. I mean,
just tune in at any time of the day.
Anytime, day, night, wherever. Just
BCS is there.
That's it.
That's quality.
That's it.
Programming.
That's it. So we'll go straight to the papers. I have a copy of the Punch newspaper.
And I have a copy of the Saturday Tribune.
Senate probes fresh multi-billion naira fraud in NDDC. It was House of Rep before. The Senate has taken over now. Panel to grill MD Wednesday over funds unaccounted for. You're too fainty.
The NDDC is beginning to look more and more like the NNPC.
Clearly, kind of.
So much money flowing in that organization.
It starts with N and ends with C too. Anyway. So there's a rider, panel to grill MD Wednesday over funds unaccounted for. Buhari decries abuse of trust in EFCC and NDDC. Magu is gone.
Also, the banner headline of the Saturday Tribune: Magu attacks Salami panel. Accuses panel of using looters against him. EFCC NDDC officials abuse government's trust, says Buhari. That on page 3 of the Saturday.
For him to make that comment, they have concluded matter.
No, Baba has been quiet.
Sorry, Brother Magu. It happens, One of those things. Okay. 10 killed in Lagos boat accident. 3 missing, says police. That's in page 23 of the Punch newspaper.
This Lagos waterways, perpetual boat accident, something needs to be done.
And the waterways is supposed to help out. I mean, normally,
Actually, it's always about the boat operators not following laid down rules and regulations of operation.
Life jackets and all that.
Overcrowding on the boats, I don't know. There has to be some form of enforcement actually to prevent these things.
Hope they do that.
Right, Nigeria's harvest of deaths: 497 killed in 3 weeks. That's on page 4 of the Saturday Tribune.
There are many. Some will say we are very many. So I hope we just don't get used to these things. I hope we don't.
Are we not used to it?
It's not a good way of life. You just get used to people dying anyhow. It's not nice. There's no benefits at all whatsoever. Well, okay. On the poll, Akeredolu running mate meet Tinubu Sanwo-Olu. Okay, for support, right? Page 8 of the Punch newspaper.
Our North Branch of Yoruba land will be ceded to federal government's creditors, says Afenifere. Picture of the Saturday Tribune. They're talking about the Chinese issue, the Chinese question.
Let's tell ourselves the truth. If they come back for the train and it passes through Yoruba land, they own it and the stations. That's the truth, though. I was telling somebody, I said, better start bracing for impact. I just that they are naming the places after Nigerians. When we don't pray, it happens. But if these guys take over, they will name it after Shin Hui. And you have no control over it.
Name it after Bruce Lee.
It's written there that you have to waive your sovereignty as an. I mean, someone signed it. So, I mean, for the contracts that have been concluded, that one is a done deal. Maybe for the subsequent ones, if we manage to expunge it, maybe.
And they're also saying there's no option to China. The Minister of Transportation is also, okay, give us an option.
His opinion. His African Development Bank, not there. Have they pushed it to him? I mean, so saying there's no really. I mean, so when you say there's only one person that can do it, that's not true. There are several human beings. You might have some benefits you derive from Chinese loans, but Chinese contracts are written in Chinese. That I'm very aware of. So do we have the deal? Even the one written in English, the moment is bulky. How many politicians have time to read through?
And it must be again that they don't. Everything about this, our dealings with the Chinese seems to be shrouded in some form of mystery and controversy.
It's always shrouded. It's their style.
The visit of the Chinese doctors till date, we don't.
Those guys scammed us. They outrightly scammed us as a nation. It's unfortunate. Even the Honorable Minister of Health eventually got angry when he discovered that they scammed. He went to the airport to welcome this. Don't let me say what's on my mind. You understand? Imagine inside the COVID-19 that they have other jobs doing. He left his job, went to stand at the airport welcoming these people.
I think they actually came to solidify this loan deal, and perhaps other things. I think they came to make sure that
that's their way. I mean, that's their style. We invited them. They didn't force themselves on us, so I would not blame the Chinese. Really, I won't. I mean, exactly. I mean, so it's not their fault at all. Well, all the best. Fasami instructed us to bury him in same tomb with mom, says son. And that's the son to Pa Ayo Fasami, saying their dad instructed them to bury him with his wife. That's details of that on page 12 of the Punch newspaper.
Well, Ohaneze mourns Fasami's death, says it's painful. That's on page 4 of the Saturday Tribune.
Why we take loans from China? Amici. I will take that.
Why has he been the one doing the defending? Where is the Minister of Finance and the Minister of Information?
There's this cartoon we used to watch growing up. Yes, Voltron, Defender of the Universe. When you see somebody coming out strong, something is involved.
Well, many of the loans actually have to do with his sector, transportation, rail lines.
So I mean, he has been claiming that no, without the loans we cannot do the rail. It will end. It will stop. Brother. In this country where 48 million barrels of crude oil is disappearing, we can make money happen.
We're $81.5 billion naira growing.
So is it what we can make money happen? It's just a matter of a question of do we want to do it? Okay, so but saying no, okay. If time permits, to take that story. Why we take loans from China? Amici, page 19 of the Punch newspaper.
Buhari's government rewards lawless people. That's coming from the unrelenting critic of the Buhari administration, it's a back page column from the Saturday Tribune. It says the eradication of terrorists doesn't work. That's coming from Farouk Perogi. notes from Atlanta.
He's not alone. I mean, Ali Ndume, senator, has been talking about the same thing too. So, except we just want to, decide not to look in their direction. People have been talking. People have been talking. So, okay. Please read, lock up 50 Lagos residents in station amid COVID-19. Maybe those who violated. That's on page 9 of the Punch newspaper.
Courts gave electoral victory to undeserving candidates, says Methodist prelate.
And on the NBA election, I think a winner has emerged. And here's the winner talking. NBA, my victory for young lawyers, says Akpata. Says his victory is for Oluyole Akpata right there. Says his victory for young lawyers. Details of that on page 8 of the Punch newspaper.
Victory for the youth. Ekiti workers begin 3-day warning strike on Monday. Over
medical workers or workers?
Or workers. They are talking about unpaid benefits.
Okay. It's all right.
It's to pressurize Governor Kayode Fayemi to pay outstanding salaries, allowances, and pension arrears of workers.
It's okay. All right. And that's interesting.
And coupled with the challenges of COVID-19 again.
Wow. Okay. All right. We wish them all the best, because this is not the time to have any face-off with your workers. It's just not the right time. It's not the right time. Let me see if there's more stories before we go to sports. It's a weekend. There's not much, just sensational stories. But okay, NNPC replies a whistleblower denies 48 million barrel oil theft. Again, all this shalaye they're doing. Somebody is always resist the urge to shalaye when you have to just explain something's involved. Okay, so they replied the whistleblower and they are denying 48 million barrel oil theft. We'll see where their denial ends. Okay, that's on page 28 of the Punch newspaper.
And northern governors decry attack on Zulum. What goes around could probably come around.
That's it.
That's why they are talking now.
And they are in the same place, so anything can happen.
And Yoruba would say he couldn't It's coming. But eventually get there.
All right, I think I'll just go to the back page, the sports page. Yeah, it's weekend. It's Saturday. Page 30 of the Punch newspaper. Balogun set for Rangers debut against Aberdeen. And we have mom secretly took dad's money to support my career in that dossier. Super Falcons goalkeeper talking right there.
Secretly, he used the word took. He didn't use the other more serious.
It's still their money anyway. So it was not stolen. It's their money. Yeah. It was not stolen.
Well, what I got the money was well used.
Yeah, I'm sure she's paying back now.
Definitely. Baba will be enjoying himself now.
That's it though.
And you probably will be glad that money was taken. All right, we have this one. Nigeria ought to quicken action on Saka. And COVID-19, British government extends a ban on sports fans. That's on sports pages of the Saturday Tribune.
81 million euros Napoli deal. How Lagos Oka became Africa's costless footballer. Wow. That's the story of Sibe. Formerly Okin in Lagos, now living the dream. Wow.
Big transformation there.
Massive one, sir. Massive one.
Ex-Cameroon captain Stephen Toto dies at 57. The 30 of the Saturday Tribune. And Liverpool toughest I've ever seen, says Odura. Joshua Kubrat bout may hold outside the UK, says promoter.
Okay. FA Cup final, Lampard Arteta target first trophy. We'll see who picks it. Chelsea versus Arsenal. We'll see who picks the Emirates Cup. Okay, so who says Arsenal's Cup? Alright, we'll see. Okay. Ex-Cameroon captain, the same story took Tata dies at 57. Wow. So rest in peace. And we have Okereke Dennis, target Belgian double with Bruges. Okay, that's about that. On the Punch Sports page. Let's take some major stories. Want to fire the first shot?
All right. Magu attacks Salami panel, accuses panel of using looters against him. And we also have EFCC, NDDC officials abuse government stroke. That's coming from President Muhammadu Buhari. And now suspended acting chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, Ibrahim Magu, has accused the presidential panel probing the activities of the Anti-Graft Commission under his leadership of being hostile to him anytime he attempts to take up issues with those testifying against him. He made the accusations against the panel chaired by Justice Isa Ayosalami, a retired president of the Court of Appeal, through one of his lawyers, Tosin Ojomo, in a statement entitled 10 pertinent questions for Salami panel over Magu, which was issued on Friday. The setting up of the panel by President Muhammadu Buhari followed a memo written by the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami SAN containing some allegations against Magu. And also President Muhammadu Buhari has spoken publicly for the first time on the allegations of corruption leveled against the leadership of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, and the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, saying that appointees of his administration and those of the previous one in those agencies have abused government's trust. Speaking after observing his Eid prayers at the forecourt of the presidential villa Abuja on Friday, the president expressed delight that some stolen assets have been recovered, sold, and proceeds put into the single treasury account (TSA), which is inaccessible to the corrupt persons involved. And when asked how he felt about recent revelations coming out from the EFCC and the NDDC, President Buhari said there has been abuse of trust by people trusted by previous administrations and this administration. Well, Magu attacks Salami panel, accuses panel of using looters against him, and EFCC NDDC officials abuse government's trust, says Buhari.
Wow.
Now, actually, President Buhari coming out to speak on the NDDC and the EFCC at this particular point in time. Now, I'd like to kind of take up the president on the issue of EFCC. President Buhari was actually warned, alerted severally about the antecedents of Ibrahim Magu. The Saraki Senate before this one, the National Assembly before this one, and this particular National Assembly refused to actually confirm him as the substantive chairman of the EFCC, and several damning reports from the DSS from other agencies were placed before the president, who, for reasons well best known to him, refused to act on these reports. So I wonder why the president is now just discovering that Magu and others have abused them of public trust.
I think the love lost between the 8th Senate and the executive overshadowed or blinded them from seeing the merits. I mean, the notes, the memos, the allegations, from different quarters. I'm very sure, at least on 2 different occasions, from the DSS. I mean, and these are people that report directly to Mr. President. One emanated from the presidency. Who in the presidency we don't know, but at least one particular, petition came directly from the presidency, and it was read on the floor by the Bukola Saraki led, 8 senators. See, these things are here. Without it being corrected, we cannot, but they felt, everybody, no, Saraki has come again,
that was the song, many Nigerians.
They are not interested in this government, they are making things bad, but the merits are there. Did Mr. President bother to check? How can Mr. President nominate someone and somebody under your roof, or let me use that analogy, somebody close to you is saying that it should not work, sending a counter? I thought Mr. President should have looked within It happened the first time, happened the second time. He should have checked it out, that, oh, is this guy corrupt, or are there some people who really don't want him, who may eventually frustrate his work? I mean, I'm not saying Magu is a criminal here, but I'm saying that if he has issues with some people, those people are enough to make his work not, come out good, as the case may be. Now with Mr. President's comments, because I saw that short clip yesterday, what I could read from there is that they've finished work. Whoever is doing that job has concluded the matter. I'm telling you. I mean, the way Mr. President spoke, you could tell point blank that he has concluded that the likes of Ibrahim Magu had failed.
And I think the big lesson here is that not just the government alone, we should all learn to divorce politics when it comes to matters that affect the people directly.
Exactly.
When it comes to issues of trust, issues of credibility, issues of integrity, we should learn to divorce politicking. And Magu now is now accusing the panel of using looters against him. Well, the question of fair trial comes up again here. I think this also should be looked into if there is any element of bias in the ongoing proceedings of the presidential panel. And to me, the panel is functioning too much like a court of law. I don't know the extent of powers.
You have a retired judge in charge. You have a retired. I think they should just sue him to court.
Who's going to accuse of being on a vendetta mission?
I think he should just be arraigned in court. You should just be arraigned in court. I mean, this is like the third week, isn't it?
Yeah, unless they don't have enough evidence, enough facts to proceed to the court of law.
With the 3 weeks grilling, they should have enough by now. Go ahead, arraign him, and there's no point trying to. Moreover, it's not as if press has access to the sessions that hold in the banquet or where they hold the inquiry. So I think they should just go ahead, arraign him in court, and let's see how it goes. So rather than this, but clearly Magu himself is already fighting back. He's seeing that it's more likely a drowning man, so he's trying to fight back for his life.
And he probably won't drown alone. Doesn't want to drown alone anymore.
Why we take loans from China? Amici, the Minister of Transportation, Mr. Rotimi Amici, on Friday said Nigeria had to resort to approaching China for loans due to the low interest rate, the payback period, and moratorium. He said when compared to the terms of loans given by Western countries, it was clear the Chinese loans were better. The minister spoke in an interview on a TV station, noted that if Nigeria stopped taking loans, it would also mean an end to the infrastructural projects embarked upon by the federal government. He said that people are asking if Nigeria has the capacity to pay back the loans. Will we pay back? A loan given for 20 years at 2.8%. Which other country will give you that? I mentioned that these loans are paid directly to the contractors. Once we sign that, the job has been done. What is critical is that the projects are in place. Compared to the loans we got from the Western countries, this is at 2.8% for 20 years with 7 years moratorium. Why won't we pay back? He argued that if the previous governments had done the infrastructural projects, there would be no need taking such loans at such a time. Adding, quote, I just thought that the National Assembly and Nigerians should at least acknowledge the fact that we are making progress in terms of infrastructural development. When we stop collecting the loans, then we will stop developing because there is no money. Before we came, the money had been blown away. There were no funds.
Indeed.
The minister also faulted insinuations that Nigeria signed away its sovereignty with the sovereignty clause in the loan agreement, noting that the clause was only to guarantee the repayment of the loan and not for the country to lose its sovereignty. The House of Representatives Committee on Treaties, Protocols and Agreements on Tuesday raised the alarm over loan agreements being entered into by the federal government with China, expressing its resolve to review loan facilities Nigeria already took from China and others. But Ameji said, quote, no country will sign away its sovereignty. The clause said, I expect you to pay according to the terms that we agreed on. But if you don't pay, when I come to collect the assets you used as guarantee, don't wave your immunity at me and say you can't touch our assets because we're a sovereign country.
Abidjan semantics.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing.
It's like we do not understand English, or I don't understand.
And this is what they've been doing. I read about Zambia 2 days ago. Some people send me a message, say, can you send that link? I say, it's there, Google it. It's been happening. They take it. There's no story.
Now, it's saying that which other nation would give a 20-year period for a 2.8%? Now, which other country would ask for your sovereignty?
Exactly. I mean, will a Western nation, won't we start shouting slavery? They dare not. The World Banks, the IMF, they can give you conditions and say, okay, you must make your money maybe via increasing tariff or not. But are you waive your sovereignty? It will take a Chinese loan for that.
Of course, the Chinese know what they want and they know how to get it. They would rather you don't pay back the loans. I think it's more profitable for them to take over the nation's assets.
Tola, you don't even need to be an economist or a scientist or a futurist. When you go to market, and you meet our brothers who are selling things, and they tell you this one 10,000 original, this one 1.5, and it looks alike. You carry the thing, one is bulky, one is lightweight. He said we do the same thing, but this one you want 10,000, this one 1.5. Choose your choice, and this one is cheap now, 1.5, and you carry it and you go, you're your own. In 1 month, if the thing stops working, don't come back. You understand?
Because you have been warned.
If the Chinese loans are cheap, they know what they are going for. It simply tells you that it was never about the money.
And the Minister of Transportation could not place that side by side.
I'm telling you, he said when they come for it, they've always been coming for it as if we don't know. The examples are there. All the African countries, Zambia.
And of course, they know our history of mismanagement.
Mozambique.
They know we will default.
These are countries that have national infrastructure under direct control of China. In fact, it was worse in Mozambique. A friend was telling me that there was an airport he went to that most of their stores were even written in Chinese to show you that we are the ones here. So you pay them. You are paying. It's China people that are collecting tickets. I mean, it's that bad. Do we have to go that way? Really?
What do you think of the Yoruba leaders now, Afenifere, blowing hot, saying no inch of Yoruba land will be ceded to the Chinese creditors?
I'm sorry, that is... take the story, so that don't let me preempt them.
What the Pan-Yoruba socio-political group Afenifere on Friday declared that no inch of Yoruba land will be ceded to creditors of the federal government should there be reasons for his creditors to make such demands. Afenifere was reacting to reports that the federal government had signed an agreement with the Chinese government which contains a clause that compels Nigeria to waive its immunity for itself or its property in case of a breach of the agreement. In a statement by a spokesman, Mr. Yinka Odumaki, Afenifere described the disclosure that a clause in a loan agreement signed by the President Muhammadu Buhari-led government ceded the sovereignty of Nigeria and its assets if the nation defaults in payment as worrisome. Odumaki said the Yoruba nation will not allow an inch of its land to be taken over by any foreign interest to which any government that is loan crazy must have concessioned the sovereignty. We are not aware of any such authority given to any government to do such. No inch of Yoruba land will be ceded to federal government's creditors, says Afenifere. The ethnic dimension.
Let me start from this angle. I was watching an inquiry. The Honorable Minister of Transport, Rotimi Amici, appeared before a panel in the House of Rep, and we were asking him, where are the details of this contract? He said, no, we furnished the Senate. He said, this is House of Rep. We shall give the legislature. Somebody had to correct him that, okay, you were one speaker in the State House of Assembly. You mean you don't know that you're supposed to send it here?
Of course he knew. He knew. Just playing to the gallery. He knew.
Well, I think some politics played out again because I was expecting the chairman to up on some things, but I think they also understood themselves. They ended it there. I was waiting for some things because it was observed there that the legislature, he said he gave it to the Senate, but the House of Rep had no idea of the details of that contract. Why am I saying this? if our representatives who we sent to the center, to make certain decisions, especially policy and law on our behalf, have no idea of these things. And Yoruba elders here, seated here, are saying that when they come, we will not allow them. I'm sorry. That statement may not hold water.
Have you noticed that the House of Representatives appears currently to be the storm in the teacup?
Exactly. They are the ones,
actually
which means probably the Senate had been carried along in all of this, and so they understand some of those things. But the House of Rep guys feel, no, it's our job, let's do it, since you didn't tell us. Maybe those ones too are shouting for them to be given a slice.
I know Senate President Ahmed Lawan did make an insinuation sometimes ago, insinuating that this present Senate might be a rubber stamp Senate.
Whatever they send, they will.
You remember his precise words.
Okay.
And this is the result we are probably seeing now. And
we hope even the House of Rep, that is looking like, we hope they keep up, this team, it continues, at least expose some of these things so that we will be aware. It's better when you know ahead, you can prepare for some of these things, because that inquiry, after they finished, some press guys went to them and asked Rotimi Amaechi questions, and he said exactly the same thing he said on this report I just read, that does it really matter? We pay now. How many debts have we successfully paid off? The last time we had debts, they were written off. That's the truth.
The Chinese now are anticipating.
We have a very bad history as a nation regarding debt repayments. That's the truth. Except we just want to be deceiving ourselves here. That is the old truth. And China is not World Bank. China is not Paris Club.
They can be ruthless.
So I hope people know they've been taking over structures. Nigeria will not be the first, okay, and probably not the last. So they've been successfully doing it in African countries, and they are getting away with it.
And we won't be getting any help from the Western world.
We were warned. We were warned clearly. So we're not warned
to them. Help also.
But maybe we end it here. What strikes me is that I can't imagine that on a fateful day in year 2020, we are seated here discussing the sovereignty of Nigeria. That it matters, it does not matter, and we are here discussing it. Should it even happen at all? Should it ever be a subject of discussion in a contract?
We've come this far. This is where we found ourselves, unfortunately.
Well, we have one more story.
We cannot but still talk about national security.
Definitely.
And the way the Tribune put it, Nigeria's harvest of deaths. 497 killed in just 3 weeks.
Wow.
And still counting. In the first 3 weeks of July 2020, no fewer than 497 Nigerians were killed in various incidents that range from terrorist and counter-terrorist attacks to herdsmen attacks, banditry and kidnapping. The incidents are captured in the Nigeria Security Tracker NST, a project of the United States-based Council of Foreign Relations CFR's Africa program. The NST, which catalogs and maps violent incidents in Nigeria based on a weekly survey of Nigerian and international press, released records of the incidents between July 4 and July 24, 2020. The July 4 record shows that gunmen killed 3 persons and abducted 5 others in Kofi local government area and abducted 3 others in Matazu local government area of Katsina State. It was also recorded that July 6 herders killed 2 persons in Lagos. Benue State bandits killed 15 civilians, just as Nigerian troops killed 46 bandits in Batsari, Katsina State. On that date, a Boko Haram improvised explosive device, IED, also reportedly killed one Nigerian soldier in Baga, Borno State. The list goes on and on. It's actually a comprehensive list of the killings recorded over a period of 3 weeks, called Nigeria's harvest of deaths.
Very unfortunate. I mean, and I will say it again, it seems we are getting used to these huge numbers.
Becoming a way of life.
And it's not good. It's just not good. Death should not be this cheap. It shouldn't be.
I know gradually we are beginning to see a situation whereby the victims are now beginning to take things. Now, I've always mentioned this. A time that would come when people will begin to take laws into their own hands, to take their destiny into their own hands, and it's happening already. It's gradually happening. And like I've always said, we should avoid another Central African Republic.
Governor Zulum of Borno State threatened that he will train hunters to take over the job of the Nigerian army. I mean, when things get to that level, you should know something is not right.
And definitely you would know it doesn't really mean hunters. It means to bring up a
militia now. That's it. That's the meaning. That's the meaning. Time check, 7:08 a.m. Destination time, 7:30 a.m. We'll do for a commercial break. When we're back, more stories, and we'll open the phone lines. Don't go anywhere.
Oyo State Internal Revenue Service, under the Executive Governor, Engineer Seyi Makinde, has graciously approved the following incentives and relief in order to ease the burden of COVID-19 pandemic on our valued taxpayers. The deadline for filing of annual returns for individual taxpayers has been extended till 31st of August 2020. Also, the deadline for filing of annual returns of employees till 31st of August 2020. 25% reduction in the signage mobile sticker of Oyo State signage and advertisement policy. For more information, check newspaper for details or call 008-370-9494 or 003-344-8865. Always remember to stay safe. This message is from the Oyo State Internal Revenue Service under the Executive Chairman Aremo John Adeleke.
98.5 Oluyole FM.
Conversation with Dayo and Tola.
So you're there. It's still Oluyole 98.5 FM and the program on the airwaves. Conversation with Dayo and Tola. I am Oladayo Ogunbowale.
I'm Tola Teriba.
Thank you for joining. Well, today, the 1st of August, is World Wide Web Day. For those who don't know, www. So today is World Wide Web Day. World Wide Web Day is a global celebration.
What would the world be like without www?
Wow, I can only imagine. Stone Age. Without the internet. World Wide Web Day is a global celebration dedicated to web browsing. The online activity that brings the world at your fingertips and a wealth of knowledge at your feet. There's no denying the importance of the World Wide Web. In fact, most people rely on the World Wide Web in order to find out information and carry out tasks online every day. It is integral to a lot of jobs as well. Therefore, it is only right that we have a day to honor the World Wide Web, and that is what World Wide Web Day is all about. Phone line is open, 08055009850, 08055009850. There's our first caller.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Oh, Mr. Chris, go ahead.
Fine. Let me go ahead with you. Why do we have to from China? I am not convinced that we can make it the truth. The people and the other part of your community which you pray to pay. Now, is this enough? Why commercialize the data for Nigeria? No, we will not want the ability to answer food and go to the Chinese. Secondly, we have done our best as the president. I believe that the state is not safe to pay. You can correct your going to it completely. You can make it. You can put the peace to high level. You we can continue to play and to do as a put in assignment. Look at our hospital that have become consulting clinics. Are we appreciating the same? And finally, another cheer has been given to our legal system. If it's true that someone who wants to put a month to beat up and degrade the woman as eventually walking to, it is because it is a lawmaker. There is judgment in heaven. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Chris, all the way from Ikena. The phone line is still open, 08055009850. Thank you so much. Let's hear your comment from wherever you are. 08055009850.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. This is Mr. Victor from Oluyole.
Nice to have you, sir. Go ahead.
Thank you, Victor, and to you. Happy New Month to you all.
I wish you the same.
Okay.
Yeah, all this news we've been hearing for some days now about the agreement with Nigeria and China. Very sad one indeed. Seriously, I can't believe such thing is happening this time. I think the war has gone beyond all this. The leaders, so many things I don't want to say this morning, but the truth is that with all this, it has left me with nothing to say. I just want to say you guys are doing good job. God bless you in Jesus' name.
Amen. Thank you so much, Mr. Victor, all the way from Ogbomoso. 08055009850. That's the number to join us and join the conversation from wherever you are.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Miss Classic calling from Kokori Park.
From where, sir?
Kokori Park.
Okay. Please go ahead, Mr. Cletus.
Green.
Sir?
Go ahead.
Yes, I want to talk on the issue of the law from China.
Go ahead.
The law from China, that agreement was signed by the former Minister of Transportation, not even in 2010, like the time again. But the terms and conditions in which the law was signed, it is an aberration to Nigeria, to we Nigeria, because it's like selling our country to China. Can you hear me?
We are with you.
We are with you.
It's like selling Nigeria to town, but thank God for the exposure from the half of assembly. I think it's a good thing for us to be aware of what's going on, so that we can be prepared for future occurrence. But in the nutshell, I think what we should pray that Nigeria is able to pay the law, but I don't think we can do anything about it because the agreement has been signed. But the issue is that we should do the necessary things to make sure that such agreement will not reoccur in the future. Thanks.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Cletus. Well, I hope we will change, but we have a bad history of loan repayment. Oluyole Kikiola Okola on Facebook is saying, "Good morning, Mr. DNT. So pathetic when Minister of Transportation is speaking for Minister of Finance. Alone, we save also. Thanks for the historical updates. Happy New Month, aka Tusho. Thank you." Someone else is here.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning. Aruna.
This is Aruna from Odoro, Ogbomoso.
You're welcome.
Happy New Month, Mr. DNT.
Thank you. Wish you same.
To you too.
I just want to say I'm expecting in Ogbomoso this morning.
Okay.
I'm about to slaughter my ram.
Correct.
I'm going to give you query.
Don't worry. Just forward it to Agilete FM. It will get to us.
God bless you, sir.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. The phone line is still open. 08055009850. Sheye Adeleke, Sheyatronics on Facebook is saying, "Good morning and happy new month, DNT. On this Chinese loan issue, I feel there's more to it than we are being made to know. It's becoming a case of the more you look, the less you see. On the huge number of deaths, I feel the security chiefs should at least pretend to love their nation, even though it appears they don't, and just resign. Oh, okay. These killings are getting out of hand." Someone else is here.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Happy Sabbath.
Thank you.
So I really appreciate your effort on this program.
Thank you, sir. Your name and location, sir? Okay, nice to have you, sir. Go ahead with your comments, sir.
Thank you, sir. To me personally, I like every one of us to go on prayer. Yeah, the way this country is going, because we expected much from our president than all this somehow rubbish he is doing. What is the coming fate for our generation?
Sir, that word rubbish, sir, it's not too fair on our president.
So sorry to say that, when you expect much from somebody, because I'm one of those that voted for him.
Yeah.
But I really say I regret. So that's just why I'm saying when you expect much from somebody, I doing other things. God bless you, sir.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Thank you for your call. That's Mr. Oyelaki from Bomosho. The phone line is still open. 08055009850. That's the number to join the conversation. Someone is here.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Tola.
Good morning, sir.
This is Andrew from Bomosho.
Oh, nice to have you.
Mr. Andrew.
I will try and see Mr. Aruna to see how he's always doing his weather every day.
That's magic fingers.
I don't know. I just want to ask, because I don't know the way this country is going. You know, I've said this sometimes ago, because we are not making enough voice. Because we are talking that all these ministers, they are not coming out saying this, saying that. Before they are not accountable to us. They don't even tell us anything. They just do what they want. Look at it. How much did we collect from a partial loot? Is it not more than this 400 wherever they want to borrow to and sold out this country? You know, I said this sometimes ago that Nigeria has already sold out. He only got the efforts to get the balance. You know, I said it. Now look at it. We got to borrow 400 and sold out the country entirely. And how much have we collected from a partial loot? How much have we recovered from all this loot and loot and loot and loot? If you look at all those things together, are they not more than what we are borrowing? Can't they just be collecting it and be putting it into projects so that nobody goes there again and spend it? But because they just want to do other things, that is why they keep borrowing and say without borrowing we cannot survive. Where did the China get their own money we are borrowing? Did they get it from the plant? God will help Nigeria. Happy New Month, sir.
All right, thank you so much. Really appreciate your call.
An interesting point there.
Yeah, definitely.
How did China do it?
Is Kemia Ameliorator on Twitter at boss_oxide? He said on China loan, I think we should start learning Chinese or Mandarin and getting our Chinese names soon. So what's your own? Interesting. I like his line of thought. Someone is here.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, Mr. Dayan Tola, good morning.
Good morning, sir. What you saying?
Yes, I remain David, calling from Ogbomoso.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
Thank you. Now, I want to speak on the issue of Nigeria collecting money from this Chinese government. Honestly speaking, if you try to remember what I keep saying all the time, we are moving toward being colonized second time. And if care is not taken, honestly, the incoming generation will suffer for this. Now, if part of the loan agreement is our sovereignty forms part of the loan agreement, automatically this is not right. It is not right. This is not good. Where are we going? Now, these Chinese people, I surely believe that they are looking for territory in Africa. That is it. A territory in Africa. They will colonize. Now, look at what is happening in other African countries. The way Nigeria is collecting the loan is the way other countries collecting the loan. And if care is not taken, by the time we know what they are doing, they will have colonized us again. And that was when they were taking our oil, they were taking our resources away to their own land. May God save Nigeria.
Amen.
So all these things, I believe before none of this nature should be taken, government should try and organize what they call referendum for each zone. Yes, they should come to the Yoruba land, go to the east, go to the north. Are we in support of this? If people are not in support of it, we should do away with it. Because now our bad price is being sold now. It God save us.
Amen. Thank you so much, Mr. David. All right. Phone line still open. On Facebook, Fumlola Diwale saying, hello, Mr. Dayo and Tola. Hope you guys are doing great. Yeah, we are trying. Happy new month, too. As this month is going, we will not be a victim of bad circumstances in Jesus' name. Amen. God heal our Jerusalem, Nigeria. Amen. Christian Bolahon Adio on Facebook, you say, good morning, Mr. Dayo and Tola. I pray to God that this government will not take us to another problem with this issue of borrowing every time without development. May God say, well, the saying we'll borrow and give you development.
Good manpower.
Abi, Bolanle Areo saying good morning, guys. Talking about insecurity in this country, if you go to the northern part of the country, you will know that other tribes are living like if we perish, we perish. So it's only God that can help us in this country. About loan, well, I was saying the other time, you think I was joking that this government want to sell the country. Well, they have not sold us yet, at least.
Oh, haven't they?
Well, I'm just trying to be
practically.
Well,
hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, Grandma.
Where are we going in this country? Borrowing every time. And without any tangible project. So, let's fún wa lórí lọ sí China báyìí. Ọlọ́run kó gbà wá lórílẹ̀-èdè yìí.
Àmín o.
Happy New Month, my dear one. God bless you.
Amen. Thank you so much, Grandma. Well, it's not as if borrowing. Actually, this borrowing is my only challenge is the sovereignty clause. Seriously. If you are getting real transport, so why not? But that if something happens, they will now come and one thing, how you will now be giving me direction and be telling me what not to do.
In Chinese terms.
Come on, you. Someone is there. No. Call us back. Aji Agbomojo Owelewa on Facebook is saying, good morning. Nigeria keeps borrowing money without refunding it now. The result is out. Mr. Dayo, please, is the result A1 plus or minus? Maybe I tell you, Nigeria don't enter second chance. God bless us all. Happy new month. Ajia, thank you. We'll go back to the phone line.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, Tola.
Good morning, sir.
Say me hi to Dayo.
Present, sir.
Please, I've asked this question before. I will still ask now. This program on 95 point something.
98.5, yes, sir.
Is it limited to only the Southwest, or do they listen to it in the seat of power?
It's being streamed live, so it's, accessible anywhere in the world, sir.
Across the world.
Well, God will save us.
Amen.
Like Maina, maybe like Magu. Abi? They were complaining about Maina, but it happened after. And Magu too, they were pre-warned, and it's happening. God save us. So.
Amen. Nice to have you. Thank you so much, sir, for your comment. So much, really appreciate you, sir. Ladiola at Ladiola 007 on Twitter is saying, on China loan, we all know how our leaders are handling this money to better their lives. And if we have forgotten, the encroaching doctors during the lockdown is the beginning of China taking over our land. Happy new month. Well, his opinion right there. Someone else is here.
Encroaching doctors. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Morning, sir.
Yes, I'm Paul by name, calling from Ogumosho.
Okay. Go ahead, Mr. Paul.
Good morning, Mr. DNC.
Morning, sir.
Happy New Month to you, sir.
Same to you.
Yeah, Mr. DNC. Hey, Nigeria, let us not sleep. We are sleeping. We are not. We should be reacting to what is not good in this country. Let us not leave it until they pass it. We are just talking. Let us react. This thing is not good. Don't take loan. As one of the callers said that maybe we are going to the second time of slavery again. You know, China is not a good people.
They are doing business.
From this country.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Paul.
And then second one, sir, Mr. DNC. About the price of goods in this country is very bad. Every today you buy something maybe 10 naira. Before you read it tomorrow, they will be saying that it's 15 naira. Where is our price control? We didn't have anything about price control, and the quality of the thing that they are doing in this country is not more like before.
Inflation.
Like I can cite an example of something we call something as a paper stone something. It's so.
Oh, Mr. Paul, that's from your hand, but I think we get it. It's inflation. It's called inflation. It's double digits right now in Nigeria, and it's been increasing. So it will definitely affect daily needs, affect everything. It's called inflation. That's our current reality. No thanks to COVID too. Our last caller is here.
Hello. Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Where would you,
sir? Mr. Ruru was speaking from Ogbomoso.
Oh, nice to have you, sir.
Yeah. I want to say something about this corruption in Nigeria.
Please go ahead briefly, sir.
Yes. Initially, when Buhari started, he was fighting corruption. But right now, he is welcoming corruption. Look at what happened with Mago. Mago's case was discussed. It was debated in the House during Bukola's tenure. Buhari refused to remove him by that time. Right now, see what had happened with Mago. There is an adage in my country home that says, when a goat that does not eat yam follows the one that eats yam, definitely that goat will start eating yam. Maybe Buhari has been getting from the lead. You know what I mean? So look at Dr. Ojuzo Carlos' case. Ojuzo Carlos embezzled Adia money, and he was jailed for 6 months. And now he has been released. Has he returned that money to the Adia government? Look at Malani. Malani has been released. Look at the army chiefs, the security chiefs. They have been asking for their removal. Buhari refused.
Wow. Thank you so much.
It's corruption and all other things in this country. It is because of the problem in the country. So we should be held responsible.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. We really appreciate your call. That will be the last call on the show today. It's Saturday, so Mary's in the building. Adegoke Steven on Facebook. Thank you for your comment from Ogbomoso. Ogbomoso dominated today. Something is going on in that place. You know, Mr. Chris from Ikene, Victor from Ogbomoso, Cletus from Crane, Aruna from Ogbomoso, so Ilaki, Andrew, David, Grandma from Ilorin, so Ikale Paul. So Rurua, thank you so much for making it today. Till Monday. Okay, you can watch us on TV tomorrow, mid-news 7 p.m. for People's Parliament. Yeah, the two of us, Tola and Dayo again on TV, mid-news 7 p.m. tomorrow. Mary, you want to take over the show from here?
Looking very Chinese.
Looking simple.
Chinese. Chinese. Where's the Chinese coming from? Help me. I'm trying to. Anyways, Adayo, have you heard
that
you people are losing Rahul Jimenez to Juventus? Isn't that just beautiful?
Let's see how it works.
Syria champions.
One goes, one comes. As one is going, one is coming.
Are you saying you don't feel a little bit, about the news?
It's not like Messi. It's not Messi now.
Anyways,
it's not Ronaldo.
FA Cup later tonight. Who do you think will, get the honors?
Let me support my enemies, Arsenal. Sport tidbits.
Well, definitely sport tidbits on Oluyole 98.5 FM this beautiful Saturday morning. Yes, it's the 1st of August, first sport tidbits for the month of August. A whole lot right here for you, all the way from Formula One to athletics. Also, some news talking about the world of the Italian Serie A will definitely conclude this weekend. Build up also to the FA Cup final. All of this we have right here for you. We will be right back. Sports Bit on Oluyole 98.5 FM. Well, whole lot right here for you. We're saying a huge welcome to everyone joining us all the way from Agility FM 92.1, Okiogun FM 96.3, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, and also on the website. You're saying welcome to the show this morning. Promises to be interesting, promises to be exciting. To all the Muslim faithfuls out there, we are saying a happy celebration, Salah prayer celebrations to you. Don't forget also, for everyone, COVID-19 is still out there, still real. Let's calm down as we go on with the celebrations at this point in time. Well, the First Lady is ready. Trust me, there's a whole lot right here for you. My name is Mira Akinshola. Let's get straight to business. Okay, we start off from the U.S. Open, where world number one Ashley Barty has now pulled out of the U.S. Open because of concerns over the coronavirus pandemic. Now, the U.S. Open is the first Grand Slam since tennis resumed and is due to begin on the 31st of August. That will be at Flushing Meadows in New York. Well, the Australian, that's Ashley Barty, was also set to play in the West and also the Southern Open, and she has said that she's not interested in both. Now, Barty told newsmen that there are still significant risks involved due to the COVID-19, and she doesn't feel comfortable putting her team and herself in that position. She also wished all the participants the best and also expressed a desire to return next year. Well, world number two Simona Halep and also the 2019 US Open champion Bianca Andreescu are also yet to enter the lead up to the US Open. Well, generally as it stands now, if you look at the rising number of COVID-19 cases in the United States of America, you wouldn't want to blame these bigwigs who are pulling out of the US Open. Do not forget that Florida right now is a hot zone. People are talking about it, and it's just huge what is going on right there. We talk about how much the government has come out to protect its citizens in this present times, which is just one of those causes for concern generally. But as it stands now, of course, Serena Williams says she is going to be at the US Open, and subsequently we still expect more big wigs to pull out from the men's corner, from the women's corner. But all of these ones, the update will bring live to you. Well, straight away from talking about tennis, now down to athletics, where the World Athletics that's formerly called the IAAF, it says it will expel the Russian Federation, that's RSAF, as a member if it does not pay an outstanding fee and the cost before the 15th of August. Now, a payment of $6.1 million for anti-doping breaches was due by July the 1st, but the Russian sports minister, that's Oleg Matystin, says that the payment will be made before mid-August, as failure would see all Russian athletes, including those who are allowed to compete neutrals, will also be out of international competitions. Well, Rune Anderson, who is the chairman of the task force overseeing Russia's reinstatement efforts, expresses disappointment that had seen little in terms of changing the culture of Russian athletics, that is in the past 5 years. Don't forget that Russia was suspended in 2015 after there was evidence of mass doping among their track and field athletes. Well, earlier this week now, former doping mastermind turned whistleblower, that's Grigory Rodchenkov, told newsmen that no Russian athletes should be allowed to take part in the postponed Tokyo Olympics. Rodchenkov said that he was behind Russia's state-sponsored doping scandal and that the country had not changed despite being banned from all major sporting events for 4 years in December for manipulating laboratory data. I mean, the way it's going with Russia, talking about doping at this point in time, probably we'll get to see how this one turns out. But don't also forget that the IAAF cannot single-handedly suspend Russia. They would have to wait for a Congress of World Athletics to get something done in that respect. Straight away from there now to Formula One, where the biggest surprise of the season had to be yesterday morning, when Nico Hülkenberg returned to Formula One, and he will be racing for Racing Points. That will be at the British Grand Prix in place of Sergio Perez. Well, Thursday morning, a news filtered in that Sergio Perez had inconclusive tests for COVID-19. By Thursday night, news filtered in that his test had become positive now. So many people expected that the reserve drivers for Racing Point will be taking the place of Sergio Perez for the British Grand Prix for this weekend. But Friday morning, around about 10 minutes to 10, we saw Nico Hülkenberg running down the paddock, and surprisingly, he got into the Racing Point car to replace Sergio Perez. For those who do not know Nico Hülkenberg, well, Hülkenberg was a driver for Renault that was for last season. He retired from Formula One last season. That was when Esteban Ocon replaced him. But then Nico Hülkenberg is not a stranger now to Racing Point. He raced for them in 2012 and also between 2014 and 2016 when Racing Point was still being known as Force India. And for this weekend, he's going to be partnering with Lance Stroll. Also, Nico Hülkenberg now, for so many people, for me now personally, is going to be huge for him because this is the first time Nico Hülkenberg will be in a car that is highly rated. Nico Hülkenberg was formerly in a Force India car, then he was in a Renault car. Both cars were in that all that sharp as far as racing goes. And although Nico Hülkenberg is highly rated, although he's a multi-champion in his junior career, Nico Hülkenberg has the unwanted record of competing in the most Grand Prix, 177 Grand Prix in his career, and he never made podium. He is the only man with such a record as far as the Formula One is going. But for this weekend, so many people are saying it's going to be huge for him if he is called in as a late-minute replacement for somebody. Because according to Nico, he says he was in Germany when they called him last night and told him, "Can you come and replace Perez for us this weekend?" Now, if that happens, yesterday during the practice sessions, he ended 10th. That's in a car he has never been in. So it's huge if he goes into the races this weekend and he makes podium. I think everyone is going to be elated for Nico Hülkenberg about this. We are going now to some transfer stories for Nigeria now. Syria has signed Napoli, has confirmed the signing of Victor Osimhen. Finally, this time, this old deal we've been talking about for weeks and weeks on end finally has happened. Victor Osimhen has been unveiled by Napoli. Although for me now, the problem which I'm still trying to get clarifications for is how much the whole thing cost. I think we had reports that the deal was about £50 million. That was yesterday afternoon, but earlier this morning I saw reports also that it's about £81 million, that if you include all the add-ons and all of that. Well, if it's actually £81 million, that means Victor Osimhen will now be Africa's costliest football player, and which is going to be a huge deal. But we still need to get clarifications about how much it costs. Don't forget, our family was Nicolas Pepe when Arsenal bought him from Lille for 72. But I think tomorrow afternoon by 3 p.m. we will have to talk about how Lille does transfers. Lille in recent times, that's talking about the French Ligue 1 side, has been immense when it comes to buying players for little and selling them for huge amounts of money. It was something as a Wenger was known for back then, but it looks like Lille is picking up momentum in that respect. So tomorrow we'll get to talk about it. But then big ups to Osimhen finally getting the job done in that respect. Okay, let's go straight to FIFA now, where Swiss prosecutors have launched legal proceedings against FIFA president, that's Gianni Infantino. And this is in relation to an alleged secret meeting he held with the Swiss Attorney General, that's Michael Lauber. Now, Lauber last week offered to resign after a court said that he covered up the meeting and also lied to supervisors during an investigation by his office into the corruption surrounding FIFA. Now, basically, all this English means that Lauber was investigating Gianni Infantino. And he went to take a meeting with Gianni Infantino in secret. He did not disclose that meeting to the supervisors. Now Lauber has resigned. He resigned yesterday officially from his position now as the Swiss Attorney General. So as it stands now, Swiss prosecutors say they are going to investigate Gianni Infantino separately from whatever is going on in there with him and Lauber. But then I think once again we get to talk about how corruption, bribery, allegations, scandals have begun to always rocking all those governing bodies, from CAF to FIFA to all of them, SAFA. We are always getting to hear about all of those allegations and corruptions in government, high places and all of that. But then you also talk about how much they have been able to mitigate the effect of corruption too at all those lower levels. Now, as of last night now, Sepp Blatter came out to say that in his opinion he thinks that Gianni Infantino should be suspended until they finish all the looking into and all the investigations. Well, you wouldn't blame Sepp Blatter. Don't forget that he was the one that was there before Infantino came in. He was also sent out of that position because of corruption issues. So we'll get. I think there's a whole lot of talk in that place, and as it comes in, we'll get to feed you in. Okay, straight now to the EPL, where a Saudi Arabian-based consortium has pulled out of a bid to buy Newcastle United. Now, documents relating to a £300 million takeover had been registered with the Premier League 16 weeks ago, but the Premier League says that it was seeking clarification of the links between the PIF and also the Saudi state. Now, the PIF is the Saudi Arabia Sovereign Wealth Public Investment Fund. They are the ones who want to buy Newcastle. And don't forget that the head of the PIL is the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, that's Mohammed bin Salman. So many people initially, when the PIF said they wanted to buy Newcastle, so many human rights groups all over the world said no, this is not it. But at the end of the day, you have to say that once again you get to see that politics and also football do not mix, and when they do, terrible things happen. Amnesty International was quoted as saying that the PIF and also Saudi Arabia were trying to sports wash their terrible integrity that's talking about generally in the sports scene, but and also on the human rights globe. But at the end of the day, it's just huge. Matt Ashley, now the owner of Newcastle, he has come out to say that he still wants to sell to the Saudi Arabian people. But as it stands now, it looks like that deal might not be happening. Although we hear that there is an American in the mix who says he also wants to come in and buy, but we get to see how that one turns out. Okay, straight to our preview for the FA Cup final later. That'll be happening by 5:30 p.m. today. Well, Chelsea have now received a huge boost ahead of the final, with news that N'Golo Kante and also Willian have both recovered from injury in time to face Arsenal. Now, Kante has not played for the Blues since coming off a hamstring injury problem during their 3-0 win over Watford. That was on the 4th of July. While Willian missed last week's victory against Wolves with an unspecified injury. But now both players are fine. The man we will not get to see is Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Is still out of that game. So don't forget that, of course, Frank Lampard, Mikel Arteta will be going head to head. If somebody wins it, one thing is sure, it's going to be a new manager in his first season who will be winning the FA Cup. The last time Arsenal won it was back in 2017, and they defeated Chelsea to win it that season. Also, Chelsea also have a good run going for them as far as the FA Cup is concerned. Well, 5:30 p.m. today, both clubs will go head to head. We'll get to see how that one turns out. Okay, straight away from there now to some transfer stories. Well, news we are hearing for this morning is the fact that Raúl Jiménez said that he is going to be picking up Juventus ahead of Manchester United. That's talking about transfer deals for this season. Although we are yet to get the nitty-gritty of the details, but definitely transfers have started. We will bring you all of those details as they keep coming in. Well, Nathan Ake, of course, also the Bournemouth defender, is £41 million bid has now been accepted now by Bournemouth from Manchester City. But then I think the big question has to be, where exactly do we begin to understand the fact that Nathan Ake now cost £41 million, which is just outrageous. But then if you look at how much the likes of Harry Maguire, Virgil van Dijk was bought for, you really wouldn't want to blame Manchester City for this one. But then tomorrow afternoon, 3 p.m. also, we will get to talk about how exactly we have found ourselves in a situation whereby money being paid for players now is beginning to escalate. We're beginning to hear outrageous offers, looking at how Aston Villa says they will be collecting £80 million for Jack Grealish. We begin to wonder how these valuations have begun to erupt so badly. You're asking yourself, well, how exactly does this player even cost £80 million in the first place? Well, I'm talking about Jack Grealish. Of course, Arsenal are set to be in the mix. Manchester United also in the mix to sign him. But then Aston Villa says £80 million. If you don't have it, you don't even come knock on our doors. Okay, also away from there, let's look at some FFP rules and also some cast storage traps. Trabzonspor will miss out of the Champions League next season after the Court of Arbitration for Sport on Thursday rejected the appeal against the one-year ban from European competitions for FFP violations. Now, in a statement, CAS said that it had ruled that the six-time Turkish champions had failed to respect an agreement that was made with the European governing body UEFA in 2016. Now, Trabzonspor finished second in the Turkish Super League season, and that would have been enough to take them to the Champions League, but they were banned from European competition, so there will be no European competitions for 1 year. But then at this point, I know so many people will be asking the question, okay, what exactly happened to Manchester City? Well, here I think it's just a case of what is good for the goose is definitely not good for the gander, and definitely fingers are not not equal. Trabzonspor did it. They are not going to get away with it. Manchester City, they did it, but it looks like they are definitely going to get away with it after CAS gave them a fine and struck out that ban they got. So talking about irregularities now, also tomorrow afternoon by 3 p.m. we'll get to look at the irregularities in this CAS judgments, and also what happened last night, talking about the EFL, where Sheffield United were handed a suspended till the 2020-2021 season 12 points deduction, while Wigan Athletic were suspended and they were sent straight to relegation. Now you get to look at how you find boards having administrations now having to make judgments, but then they come to the first case, they give a judgment. When they go to the second case, you see a different judgment entirely, and when you check out the facts of the case, they are similar. So tomorrow afternoon we'll get to look at the Sheffield United Wigan Athletic EFL triangle. Also we'll look at the CAS Trabzonspor and also the Manchester City triangle. That one also promises to be exciting. Well, finally, before I go, yesterday of course PSG made it 4-4 for the fourth time in 6 seasons now as it goes. They have won this Ligue 1, they've won the Coupe de France, they won the Coupe de la Ligue, and also last night they won the Trophée des Champions, which is huge. The only one they have left now to make it a huge quintuplet is going to be the Champions League. Now, can they do it? That is the big question. And for them, it's going to be huge if they are able to get this job done. Don't forget that they will be facing Atalanta in the final, the quarterfinals now of the UEFA Champions League. And talking about Atalanta now, it's not good news coming in for Atalanta. This news, when I saw it this morning, definitely broke my heart. Now, Josep Ilicic, of course, so many people know the Slovenia, and he has been immense for Atalanta. In fact, he has missed the last five games for Atalanta, and so many people have talked about the fact that why exactly is Ilicic not a part of this of the games for Atalanta. Don't forget that for the last 5 games Atalanta, they've only had draws and slim wins. Now, before the last 5 games, Atalanta has won with margins that looks like 3-1, 4-0, 5-1 and all of that. They've scored at least 4 goals in every of their games. And now so many people asked why was Ilicic not a part of proceedings in the last 5 games. We were hearing that he had injuries and all of that, but I can tell you this one, that injuries is not what is happening to Ilicic. In fact, as it stands, they are saying that he is out of the PSG game for the UEFA Champions League quarterfinals and is back in Slovenia with a family. If you'd ask me why, well, this is why. They said that Ilicic went home to Atalanta and he paid his family a surprise visit, and he caught his wife cheating, and he went into depression, and now they say that Ilicic says he wants to retire from football. He says he doesn't want to play football anymore. Looking at whatever that incident might have done to him, which is huge. The mental state he's in right now, it's a huge blow to Atalanta, because this is for the game against PSG seems like the biggest game of Ilicic's life, talking about how well Atalanta has fared this season. So many people are touting them as the dark horses of the Champions League, but without Ilicic, they have already started struggling in the Serie A. Would they be able to make it in the UEFA Champions League? But then one thing is sure, Ilicic is in Slovenia. He's not in Italy at this point in time. If he will be back in time to maybe get his act together, get himself together to make it against PSG, we don't know yet. But then if we go by what we have right now, Ilicic is out of that game. Well, the Italian Serie A definitely will be concluded tomorrow. Well, today a lot of games will be happening. Also tomorrow we'll be having games to conclude match day 38 for the Italian Serie A. Make sure you catch up with all of that. Well, tomorrow afternoon 3 p.m. we'll get to talk about what happened in the English FA Cup. We'll also get to talk about the preview for the UEFA Champions League. It is August. Every single day in August is loaded with lots and lots of football games. Also, we'll be having the EFL playoffs, EFL playoff final. We'll get to know who goes to the English Premier League alongside West Brom and also Leeds United. Tomorrow afternoon 3 p.m. promises to be loaded. Well, this is what you can take this morning. Sport tidbits. Don't forget to always support sports. Special thanks to everyone who was a part of production today. Those who listen to us from Agility FM Okogo, from on the website, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, are saying thank you so much for being a part of the show. Promise it to be an interesting and blessed August. Always support sports. My name is Miracle Shala. Bye for now.
Oluyole.
Listen all you want. It's always free. Thanks for showing us the way to better radio.
Oluyole 98.5 FM.
Here we go. John, I am afraid. Have you heard of coronavirus?
Yes, I have heard. But you can get it through contact with a person who may have the virus or live in an area with ongoing spread.
That is the problem. Before you know a person has it, you may have already gotten it.
That is why we must stop the spread.
How?
Do not shake anybody's hand and avoid touching people. Do not touch surfaces such as rails or stairs, public door handles, etc. In case you do, wash your hands properly with soap or use a sanitizer. Avoid crowded places and practice physical distancing at all times.
Physical distancing? What is that?
It means maintaining a 2-meter distance from the person nearest to you at all times. Most important, remember to wash your hands regularly with soap and under running water for at least 20 seconds, especially after blowing your nose, coughing or sneezing, going to the bathroom, or even before preparing and eating food. Avoid touching your eyes, nose and mouth with unwashed hands.
Thank you, my husband. I feel a lot better.
Now go and wash your hand with soap and under running water for at least 20 seconds so you'll feel best. This message is brought to you by UNICEF Nigeria.
Unbeatable. That's the BCS for you. Yeah, BCS TV. Oluyole 90.5 FM Ibadan. Agility 92.1 FM Ogbomoso. Okiogun 96.3 FM Alaga. For inquiries and patronage, please call 081-5271-9250. 081-5271-9250. That's the BCS customer care line for you. Do call BCOS, a media giant in a class of its own.
Hey, Yara! Ẹ kú dédé wòye ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa òde òdò bí èyí àràlẹ̀ akéde tún gbé tuntun dé o gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìṣe rẹ̀ ní gbogbo ìgbà ìtanijí lórí ètò ààbò ara wa ní ó kọ́kọ́ wá lábala àkọ́kọ́ lẹ́yìn rẹ̀ ní téńté orí ìròyìn oríkì orílẹ̀ ni ó tún tẹ̀lé ibẹ̀lẹ̀ ó sì ti láǹfààní àti pè sórí ètò kí oríkì ìdílé tiyín náà asàlámù aleykum warahmatulahi wabarakatu gbogbo mùsùlùmí lọ́kùnrin àti lóbìnrin la kí o a kú ọdún léyà yìí ẹ̀mí wa yóò ṣọ̀pọ̀ ọdún láyé àmín èyí ò sì ní jáṣe mọ́ lọ́la aláhólá wàlá kùwátà ìlà bìlà ilẹ̀ azim àlejò wa lérò yìí lórí ètò wa èyí àrà ni sheik abdulgani abubakri agbọ́tọmọ kékeré àwọn ní ìmáàmù àgbà gbogbo ilẹ̀ ìbàdàn ọ̀rọ̀ nípa ọdún iléyá ni wọ́n ń bọ̀ wá bá wa sọ ẹ̀gbọ́n náà irú ẹran wo ló wọlé yá kí ni pàtàkì ọdún iléyá gan àwọn ẹ̀kọ́ wo lọ́dún iléyá kọ́ wa ọjọ́ mélòó lẹ̀sìn islam fààyè sílẹ̀ láti pẹ̀ràn ọdún àwọn ìbéèrè yìí àtòmí ìtẹ́ bá tún ní kẹ́ ẹ tọ́jú de àlejò wa dọjọ́ sunday lórí rédíò alátagbà wa mẹ́tẹ̀ẹ̀ta àti tẹlifíṣàn ìpínlẹ̀ ọ̀yọ́ ni ò kẹ́ẹ̀bí sọ́kàn sheik abdulgani abubakri agbọ́tọmọ kékeré làlejò wa lọ́sẹ̀ yìí lórí èyí àrà kẹ́ ẹ má gbàgbé èyí àrà àrà ò lè tán nílé akéde ọ̀yọ́.
èrè àwa èrè àwa èrè aládùúgbò òkèèrè ìdúnyò.
gbẹ́gun bá pé gbà nítọ̀ ọ̀jẹ̀.
ológbòjò ní bàbá wọn.
òdìdẹrẹ́. ẹja fọ̀pá lù àrán.
ká gògó fọ̀hún akínjáde.
ọ̀kọ́lọ́mbó kéde fẹ́ mọ̀ já ní para.
àṣàyàn ọ̀rọ̀ ṣe tán tí ó mọ kù bí òjò.
òdìdẹrẹ́. àgbọ́mọ̀mẹ́ ti kúrú ètò.
akọ́nilẹ́kọ̀ọ́ fòye ayẹyẹ ni.
mo ní gbàgbé ìrònú àbáàdì.
òdìdẹrẹ́.
bá a ṣe dọ́là tán ládé erin.
abẹ́yìn mẹ́tàn.
abísọ̀sọ̀ mú òdi.
ìfọ̀rọ̀wérọ̀.
orin àgbọ́dúnú tó ń tàgbéyẹ̀wò àwọn tí ń ṣẹlẹ̀ láwùjọ.
láfitẹ́ ètò lódù.
ifá àkànlò èdè tó tèdè tó jíire láṣẹ fún.
bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ṣe ń gbọ́ níkànnì Oluyole 98.5 FM.
náà lẹ́ẹ̀mọ̀ gbọ́ lókògùn FM 96.3 àti ajílétí FM 92.1.
tó fi dórí ìtàkùn àgbáyé.
ní gbogbo ọjọ́ sátidé àbámẹ́ta láàrin aago 9 àárọ̀ sáago 11 àárọ̀.
bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe máa pàdé àwọn àgbà pèdèpèdè bí òkúta kọ méjì tí rí inú èkùrọ́.
yíyà àwa ni o bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ń pa wá ni àwa ni àwa náà sì kọ́ ọlọ́run ọba ni odídẹrẹ́ ẹyẹ òkun àlùkò ẹyẹ ọ̀sà bẹ́ẹ̀ bá jòǹgbé ẹ mọ̀mọ̀ jòǹgbé ẹ pàdé wa adémọ́lá adéníyì àti wálé rufai lórí ètò tuntun odídẹrẹ́ lórí ìkànnì yìí.
odídẹrẹ́
ọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́yẹ ń gbọ́.
Hello, children. Is learning fun? Kiddies Kiddies Challenge is the program on Oluyole FM 98.5 every Saturday from
11 a.m. to 11:30.
It's engaging, engrossing, and enriching. Let's come together to relax and bring out the exceptional academic and socio-cultural skills. Kiddies Challenge. It's exceptional.
Bàbá ìjàmbá ṣòlè ó léta jí o. Bíbó. Abẹ́ẹ̀ tí gbọ́ pé gbogbo tó lórí tẹlẹ́mù ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ló ti fẹnu kò pé ẹ̀ṣọ́ aláàbò àmọ̀tẹ́kùn ti gbogbo wa ní lílẹ̀ Yorùbá. Èmi àmọ̀tẹ́kùn ẹ̀yin náà àmọ̀tẹ́kùn.
Èmi náà ti gbọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ pé náà ti gbórí ilé fẹ́jú oró tí ń fọ mọ̀gàmọ̀gà lédè ìṣọ̀kan Yorùbá dénú.
Ṣùgbọ́n bàbá wọn láwọn ẹ̀ṣọ́ aláàbò àmọ̀tẹ́kùn wọn ní kò sọ̀rọ̀ à ń lò bọ́n wọn ò ní làdá bẹ́ẹ̀ wọn ò sì gbọ́dọ̀ lókun mọ̀ bóun ó ti wá mọ̀ ṣe.
Ṣé bí wọn náà mọ̀ pé ń bá ti dúró tolódùmarè ohun gbogbo lóní.
A mọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀.
Ṣáájú láti gúnyán dolóró láti ṣẹ̀bẹ̀dẹ̀ lókù àti mọ̀ pé pákọ̀kọ̀ kì í jiyàn àti wó lórí lọ.
Bíbó bàbá.
Olódùmarè ti ṣílẹ̀kùn fọ́jọ́ òmìnira ti ṣílẹ̀kùn fọmọ tuntun ọjà òrà ti ṣílẹ̀kùn fọ́ ọ̀nìrìṣà.
Ọ̀ṣẹ́ rẹ̀ tẹ ti ṣílẹ̀kùn fúnre Yorùbá nù ọ̀rọ̀ yín ti yé mi.
Gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá ló gbàjà fámọ̀tẹ́kùn ààbò ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ò gbọ́dọ̀ yẹ̀.
Rédíò àti tẹlifíṣàn ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ló ń kéde.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim.
Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.
Gbogbo mùsùlùmí mùsùlùmá àmọ̀kú ọdún iléyá àtọ́dún yìí ayọ̀ ló bá dé ẹ̀mí wa yóò sọ̀pọ̀ rẹ̀ láyé ẹ̀ ṣàmì àjíǹde ní tọ̀bọ̀ ń bọ̀n ara wa yóò máa le ẹ kú ọdún báríkádé sálà.
Rédíò ti pọ̀ níbo ni wọ́n yìí sí báyìí.
Olúyọ̀lé FM ní gbogbo ìlú ń gbọ́ orí àwọn eléré wọn náà ni wọ́n ń bọ̀.
Ọmọdé ìlú o àgbààgbà ìlú o Olúyọ̀lé ni ẹ máa gbọ́. Bó jẹ́ torin àwa la lórin bó jẹ́ tìròyìn elétí ọbẹ̀ òtẹ́tì àwa la mọ ohun tí ẹ̀ ń fẹ́. Ètò àtàtà lóríṣiríṣi àwa la lè dé lẹ́kùnpẹ́gbà olókojò bàbá ni 98.5 o ó là ní lọ́yẹ̀fẹ́ o òun sáni ẹ máa gbọ́.
Ẹ ṣeun igi pọ̀ ní gbọ́ká tó figi ọmọ gbẹ̀gbẹ̀ dùn ìròyìn àsìkò tó kún rẹ́rẹ́ eré ìdárayá kálá nílọ́yẹ̀ lásìkò ọ̀rọ̀ òṣèlú orin agbọ́dúnú ètò lóríṣiríṣi Olúyọ̀lé FM lọ́gá gbogbo mùtúmù wa.
Ọmọdé ìlú o àgbààgbà ìlú o Olúyọ̀lé ni ẹ máa gbọ́.
Àwọn agbára lọ́wọ́ alára o wá di bàbá Olúyọ̀lé FM mo ní bàbá wọn ó ní bàbá lágbo dédé wọn wọ́n kàn ń bọ̀ yájà ní ṣàkó lóníṣẹ́ rẹ̀ àwa níwájú wọn ń tẹ̀lé wa láàfin èdè láàfin ọ̀rọ̀ láàfin àṣà láàfin ibi tí a ti ń mú ìlú dùn àṣetò ogun àgbọ̀n gbẹ̀kalẹ̀ kálukú ń bù tiẹ̀ lọ Olúyọ̀lé FM 98.5 gẹ́rẹ́ o làgbẹ̀ ń wọ́tọ̀kọ rẹ̀ lẹ́yìn gẹ́rẹ́ gẹ́rẹ́ ẹ̀yin yòókù ẹ̀ máa tẹ̀lé wa gẹ́rẹ́.
Olúyọ̀lé FM 98.5 máa kó wọn jẹ̀ ṣó.
Èlé tí ọ̀fẹ́ máa rè o. Ojúmọ́ bá ti mọ́ ọ̀yẹ́ máa ń la o ọ̀yẹ́ tó la lónìí o ọ̀yẹ́ ire ni ẹ̀kú ojúmọ́ lọ dẹ̀dẹ̀ yìí o ojúmọ́ aláyọ̀ èmi o ìròyìn lẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́ màlá tó ti gbé dé ẹlẹ́tì ọ̀fẹ́ ìròyìn tó gbajúgbajà ìròyìn kárí ayé màlẹ́lẹ́yìn o ẹlẹ́tì ọ̀fẹ́ ìròyìn tó gbajúgbajà etí ni ó lè jò ń lò fọ́nrán yín tó lùkọ́ yín ẹlẹ́tì ọ̀fẹ́ ìròyìn tó gbajúgbajà ẹ̀tẹ́ tí balẹ̀ jẹ́ ká tún jọ gbọ́ o. Ẹlẹ́tí ọ̀fẹ́ ìròyìn tó gbajúgbajà. Ìkànnì tó gbajúgbajà Olúyọlé FM. Ẹlẹ́tí ọ̀fẹ́ ìròyìn tó gbajúgbajà. Ajílété FM tún máa gbọ́ wa lásìkò kan náà. Ẹlẹ́tí ọ̀fẹ́ ìròyìn tó gbajúgbajà. Òkè Ògùn FM tó wà lálága. Ẹlẹ́tí ọ̀fẹ́ ìròyìn tó gbajúgbajà. Ẹlẹ́tí ọ̀fẹ́ ìròyìn tó kún kẹ́kẹ́. Ẹlẹ́tí ọ̀fẹ́ ìròyìn tó gbajúgbajà. Ẹ máa gbọ́ nínú ilé nínú mọ́tò tàbí lórí ẹ̀rọ ìléwọ́. Ẹlẹ́tí ọ̀fẹ́ ìròyìn tó gbajúgbajà. Agbẹ́press ó tún ti yá ká tún jọgbọ́ ẹlẹ́tí ọ̀fẹ́. Ẹlẹ́tí ọ̀fẹ́ ìròyìn rẹ̀ o.
Faniye o ṣé o mọ̀ wípé ẹni tọ́lọ́run yọ ò mọyì àfìgbà tó bá lẹ́ni tọ́lọ́run mú púpọ̀ nínú àwọn èèyàn tá a wà láyé òun náà là mọyì o àfìgbà tá a bá ronú títí tá a wá ronú àwọn tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n ti kú tí wọn ò sì láyé mọ́ ò ní kí ló dé onítìlọ́jọ́ kìíní nínú oṣù kẹjọ wọ́n ní tí ẹ̀dá bá mọnú rò yóò mọ̀ pé adúpẹ́ tiwa o a sì fi yọ àwọn tó ti kú àfi gbé orúkọ Ọlọ́run ga ni èyí Táyọ̀ Olúṣọlá lè mi jẹ́ o Táyọ̀ ni mò ń kí n káàbọ̀ sórí ètò Ẹlẹ́tí ọ̀fẹ́.
tó èyí Táyọ̀
Fáníyè
bàbá mi ò gbégi ọdán bẹ́ẹ̀ ni yèyé mi ò gbégi abùrẹ̀rẹ̀ Ọlọ́run ọba mi Èdùmàrè ló sọ mí di aṣídé síjì tí ń síjì bò mí ọba mi Èdùmàrè ló síjì bò yìí ló ń síjì bò gbogbo wa gbogbo ògo ọlá àti adápadà sí ọ̀dọ̀ rẹ̀ bí àṣà kùkù lajà ó ní pé ẹ̀kan ló pé ó ní pé ìgbàgbà ló ń gbọ́ nítòun bó ṣe rí náà nù adáàgbà tó lọ padà sí ọ̀dọ̀ rẹ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí akínkàbọ̀ akínkù àmọ́sùjúbà oṣù tuntun ọ̀rí náà ni ọjọ́ kìíní oṣù kẹjọ okòólélẹ́gbàá ọdún lẹ́yìn ikú Olúwa wa
ọdún 2020
a sì ṣe ọ̀pọ̀ rẹ̀ lókè pẹ̀ a sì kú wa kú ọdún léyà náà onígan lọ́jọ́ ìjẹran
onígan lọ́jọ́ ọ̀jẹ̀ ló máa ń kọ́
ọjọ́ paranu
ọjọ́ ọ̀jẹ̀ ká.
Kúnlé Fáníyì Ifánlá mo kì í káàbọ̀ sórí ètò yín ètò Ẹlẹ́tí ọ̀fẹ́.
tó kókó tí í ṣe ògèrè orí ìròyìn lákọ̀ọ́kọ́ mọ́ mú wa kó tó di pé àwọn náà kẹtẹpẹ ìròyìn lọ àmọ́ ẹ mọ́ gbàgbé pé bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe gbọ́ wa níkànnì Olúyọlé FM 90.5 òun náà ni ẹ mọ́ gbọ́ wa ní Ajílété FM 92.1 Òkè Ògùn FM 96.3 tó fi mọ́ àwọn ìkànnì ìbánidọ́rẹ̀ẹ́ tó wà lórí ẹ̀rọ ayélujára ẹ̀já mọ́ mọ́ wa lọ́kọ̀ọ̀kan èjèèjì tó ṣé wọ́n ní àìsàṣọ ọlọ́run pàká Fáníyè ó tó àpérò ọmọ erinwo àwọn èèyàn mẹ́tàdínlẹ́ẹ̀ẹ́dẹ́gbẹ̀ta ló kú lórílẹ̀‐èdè yìí láàrin ọ̀sẹ̀ mẹ́ta.
kọlọ́ọ̀bà mi Èdùmàrè máa sọ wa wọ́n ní pé àti ìṣọ́ eléyìí tán ìmíì tún ti yọjú báyìí ilé-ìgbìmọ̀ asòfin àgbà orílẹ̀-èdè wa Nàìjíríà wọ́n ní pé wọ́n tún ti fẹ́ tanná wádìí àwọn owó bówó bílíọ̀nù náírà kan lẹ́yìn tí wọ́n tún ṣe kúmọkùmọ nínú àjọ tó ń rí sí ìdàgbàsókè agbègbè Niger Delta NDDC bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ààrẹ Muhammadu Buhari sọ̀rọ̀ ní pé ẹni tá a gbójú okùn lé wọn ò jẹ́ ní agbá bí ó yẹ pé wọ́n jà nítànmọ́ ní àgbọn EFCC àti NDDC.
wọ́n ní tá a bá sọ tá a ní kú bẹ́ẹ̀ Pẹ̀rọ̀gì sọ̀rọ̀ ó ní pé àwọn èèyàn tí ò bọ̀wọ̀ fún òfin orílẹ̀-èdè yìí ní ìṣèjọba Muhammadu Buhari ń dá láre tí ò sì yẹ ó rí bẹ́ẹ̀.
bó o bá nídìí obìnrin ẹ̀ jẹ́ kúmọ́lú èyí Táyọ̀
Fáníyì
ìdí rẹ̀ o tó fi jẹ́ wípé a fẹ́ gba owó láti orílẹ̀-èdè China a fẹ́ yáwó láti orílẹ̀-èdè ọ̀hún Amechi ló sọ bẹ́ẹ̀.
Magu ti fi ẹ̀sùn kan ìgbìmọ̀ Ayọ̀ Sàlámì pé ṣe ni wọ́n ń lo àwọn tó kówó òlú sápò ara wọn nìkan láti kọlù wọn o.
tó wọ́n ní lórí ọdún èyí tó wáyé lánàá tí wọ́n sì lọ rèé kírun wọ́n ní àwọn mùmíní àti mùmùnà léyìí tí wọ́n wà ní ìpínlẹ̀ Katsina Bauchi àti àwọn ìpínlẹ̀ míì ló dàbí ìgbà tó jẹ́ wípé wọn ò tẹ̀lé àṣẹ takété síra yín bí ìgbà tí àbàtà tí kò bá bọ́ dúró tán.
tó ààrẹ Muhammadu Buhari ti sọ pé àjọ EFCC yìí ni àjọ tí ń gbógun ti ṣíṣe owó ìlú kúmọkùmọ àti àjọ NDDC àjọ tó ń rí sí ìdàgbàsókè ẹkùn Niger Delta wọ́n ní wọ́n ti já ìjọba kulẹ̀.
ẹ wò ó lórí ètò ààbò àwọn ọmọ orílẹ̀-èdè wa Nàìjíríà mọ̀ ọ́ nítorí pé Ọlọ́run inú ilẹ̀ ríkà aláàṣe bí agbára wa ṣe tó bẹ́ẹ̀ náà sì ni adìrẹ wa làágùn gan ààrẹ Muhammadu Buhari ló sọ bẹ́ẹ̀.
ìyẹn ló bò mọ́lẹ̀.
bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
lórí ọ̀rọ̀ ààrẹ fún ẹgbẹ́ àwọn agbẹjọ́rò nílẹ̀ yìí Ajíbádé ti ké àpáta kú oríire o.
ẹ wò ó ṣe rí ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú APC àná ni wọn ò ní nǹkan kan tí wọ́n fún wọn ní ìpínlẹ̀ Edo bó ti jẹ́ wípé Eze Iyamu ni wọ́n fà kalẹ̀ Wike ló sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣùgbọ́n ìsọ̀rọ̀ náà ń gbèsè wọn ni pé ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú APC náà fa gbọ̀nmújá tí wọ́n náà wò Wike tó sọ yìí ó kù díẹ̀ káàtó ẹ gbọ́.
ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn ti ní kí àwọn olùkọ́ iléèwé girama wọlé lọ́jọ́ ajé Monday.
ọ̀sẹ̀hún jíkẹ́mi náà mẹ́lẹ̀ tó ní ṣe pẹ̀lú ètò ẹ̀kọ́ náà ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ wa ni lórí àti padà wọlé àwọn akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ wọn ni pé àlàálẹ̀ bí ètò ẹ̀kọ́ ṣe máa ń lọ léyìí tí wọ́n gbé jáde lọ́jọ́ òní wọ́n ní pé wọ́n tún ṣe àgbéyẹ̀wò rẹ̀ díẹ̀ ẹ láǹfààní láti gbọ́.
ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo àjọ elétò ìdìbò ilẹ̀ wa INEC ti fi orúkọ àwọn olùdíje fúnpò gómìnà síta o.
wọ́n ní lórí ọ̀rọ̀ tó ní í ṣe pẹ̀lú ọ̀rọ̀ oyè ní ìpínlẹ̀ Taraba wọ́n ní àwọn ogun kan náà ti fún gómìnà Ìzákù ní gbèdéke 30 ọjọ́ wípé kó fi wá nǹkan ṣe lórí kíni lórí ọ̀rọ̀ náà.
lórí ọ̀rọ̀ ìwádìí àjọ tí ń gbógun ti ṣíṣe owó ìlú kùmọ̀kùmọ̀ ìní àjọ EFCC àwọn agbẹjọ́rò kan ti sọ fún agbẹjọ́rò Magu ìní Wahab Shitu pé ó ń ṣe ohun tí ò bá òfin iṣẹ́ wọn mu o.
sọ wọ́n ní pé gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo Akérédolú ó fojú rinjú pẹ̀lú Tinubu Sanwó-Olú lórí ètò ìdìbò tí ó wáyé ní ìpínlẹ̀ rẹ̀.
àwọn gómìnà ní apá àríwá orílẹ̀-èdè yìí wọ́n ti bu ẹnu àtẹ́lu bí wọ́n ṣe kọlu gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Borno.
bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni wọ́n ní pé wọ́n fi àwọn ọlọ́pàá ṣọwọ́ sí agbègbè òun àti àwọn ọmọ ológun láti jẹ́ kí ètò ààbò kó lè bá àgbórí sí bẹ́ẹ̀.
bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni wọ́n sọ pé àwọn kan ti sọ̀rọ̀ fún ààrẹ Muhammadu Buhari pé bí ọ̀rọ̀ Nàìjíríà ṣe ń lọ ẹ̀ wọ́n ní ó tó àpérò ọmọ ìrìwò pé kí ààrẹ ya pè pàdé lẹ́lẹ́kùnjẹkùn kí wọ́n sì sọ ibi tí gbogbo nǹkan tí yóò lọ lórílẹ̀‐èdè yìí pé ṣé bí a ṣe ń ṣe bọ̀ náà ní ká mọ̀ ṣe ni àbí kí a tún orílẹ̀‐èdè yìí tò.
tó wọ́n ní pé àjọ tó ń rí sí bí nǹkan ṣe ń lọ àti ọ̀nà tó tà ń gbà ṣe ọ̀nà ni wọ́n ní pé ìdílé o tí àwọn fi ń tọpinpin àwọn tí wọ́n fún àwọn èèyàn láti tù wọ́n lára lásìkò COVID-19.
olùṣọ́ àgùntàn ìjọ elétò kan inú ìjọ Methodist ni ó ti sọ̀rọ̀ ó ní pé bí àwọn ilé ẹjọ́ gbogbo tó orílẹ̀-èdè yìí ṣe ń dájọ́ wọn òun náà ló jẹ́ pé àwọn tí ò tọ́ sí òun náà ni wọ́n gbé ààrẹ fún o.
bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni ti ibi elétò ọ̀hún ọ̀nà tí Punch tún gbà mú wọ́n ní pé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn gómìnà ló jẹ́ wípé wọn ò jáwé olúborí nínú ètò ìdìbò tí wọ́n fi gbé wọn wọlé.
ẹgbẹ́ ẹ̀yà Ìgbò tó ga jù lórílẹ̀‐èdè yìí àwọn náà ti kọrin reke bàbá Fáṣánmi.
tó wọ́n ní pé àwọn ọmọ orílẹ̀-èdè wa Nàìjíríà tí wọ́n ń lọ bí 2,248 náà ni wọ́n mọ ibi tí wọ́n ó dágbà mọ́ lórílẹ̀-èdè Egypt bákan náà ni àwọn ọmọ orílẹ̀-èdè wa Nàìjíríà tí wọ́n ń lọ bí 30 níye tí wọ́n wà ní orílẹ̀-èdè Lebanon tí wọ́n jí obìnrin ni wọ́n bẹ̀ ìjọba àpapọ̀ pé kí wọ́n dákun dábọ̀ kí wọ́n wá dóòlà àwọn níbi tí àwọn wà.
lágbo òṣèré náà àti lágbo amúlùdùn Fáníyè ṣé o rántí bàbá Jude Chukwuka tó kọrin Naira Marley níjọ́ ní ó ní Naira Marley ti fóun lówó pé aláàtì 1 million naira ó ti wọlé o.
tọ́ ó ti wọlé o ẹ jẹ́ máa mú eléyìí wá wọ́n ní pé ní ìgbà ọdún léyà ní àsìkò ìgbà tí wọ́n lọ rèé kírun wọ́n ní ààrẹ Muhammadu Buhari àwọn gómìnà ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú PDP ADP àti àwọn míì wọ́n gbàdúrà fún orílẹ̀-èdè wa Nàìjíríà.
àwọn ẹgbẹ́ Afẹ́nifẹ́re wọ́n ti sọ̀rọ̀ wọ́n sọ pé àwọn ò ní gbà kí nǹkan kan ṣe ẹ̀yà Yorùbá lóde wa Nàìjíríà.
sọ̀rọ̀ ti sẹ́nitọ̀ léyìí tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n ní kó fi ìyà jẹ obìnrin kan nílé ìtajà kan tí wọ́n pè ní sẹ́nitọ̀ ààbò. wọ́n ní pé ẹ̀sùn tí wọ́n fi kàn gbà náà lọ́hùn-ún wọ́n ní wọ́n ti dànù tíketíke bí wọ́n ṣe ní pé ó jáwé olúborí nílé ẹjọ́.
tó àwọn géńdé agbébọn wọn ni wọ́n ṣekú pa ẹnìkan tí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ sì ṣèṣe yánkanyànkan ní ìpínlẹ̀ Plateau.
ẹ wo ẹja sọ fúnra wa o ẹ má jà parọ́ fúnra wa tá a bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ wípé wọ́n fi èèyàn ṣe fàyàwọ́ orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà lè parọ́ rẹ̀ àjọ naptip ọ̀nà ni wọ́n sọ eléyìí.
tó àfẹ́kàn pàrọ̀ ìpínlẹ̀ èkìtì fáníyì ó di rẹ̀rẹ̀ mú ní ìpínlẹ̀ èkìtì wọ́n ní ìpínlẹ̀ èkìtì wọ́n ní àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ ibẹ̀ wọ́n ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ ìyanṣẹ́lódì ọlọ́jọ́ mẹ́ta o láti ọjọ́ ajé monday.
ẹ̀yin ìmẹ́lẹ̀ kọ́lọ́ọ̀bà mẹ́ẹ̀dùmarè kó máa ń sọ wa ni wọ́n ní pé àwọn èèyàn mẹ́wàá ni wọ́n jọ lọ́ọ̀ nípè nígbà tí ọkọ̀ ojú omi ṣàdédé rì àti pé wọ́n ń wá àwọn mẹ́ta báyìí gẹ́gẹ́ bí iléeṣẹ́ ọlọ́pàá nípínlẹ̀ náà ṣe sọ.
ìkókó ti fìdí jálẹ̀ bí.
kọ́mọ̀ bá a di gẹ́gẹ́.
Sunday gbẹ́sẹ̀.
ojúmọ́ bá ti mọ́ ọ̀yẹ́ máa ń la o ọ̀yẹ́ tó la lónìí o ọ̀yẹ́ ire ni ẹ̀kú ojúmọ́ lọ́dẹ̀dẹ̀ yìí o ojúmọ́ aláyọ̀ lẹ́ni o ìròyìn lẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́ màlá tó ti gbé dé ẹlẹ́tì ọ̀fẹ́ ìròyìn tó gbajúgbajà.
tó ẹjẹ́ gbẹ́rẹ́ kà sí dáa ká máa mọ́wọ́ jó gẹ́gẹ́ báyìí ká máa mú lọ́kọ̀ọ̀kan lórí ọ̀rọ̀ tó ní í ṣe pẹ̀lú ètò ààbò náà ni màá kọ́kọ́ mú àti ọ̀rọ̀ tí ààrẹ Muhammadu Buhari sọ ní àná ọjọ́ ẹtì Friday ààrẹ Muhammadu Buhari sọ di mímọ̀ wípé ẹ̀gàn ní ẹ o ìṣàkóso tí òun ń darí lórílẹ̀‐èdè wa Nàìjíríà báyìí wọ́n ṣe takuntakun bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni wọ́n sa gbogbo tó wà ní ìkápá wọn láti rí wípé ìgbésẹ̀ ìgbógun ti ikọ̀ agbésùmọ̀mí Boko Haram lápá ìlà oòrùn àríwá orílẹ̀‐èdè wa Nàìjíríà àti àwọn agbébọn ní gúúsù orílẹ̀‐èdè Nàìjíríà ọ̀nà ló jẹ́ rodò lọ́mú mi àti pé àwọn ọmọ orílẹ̀‐èdè wa Nàìjíríà gan àwọn náà mọ̀ wípé àwọn ń ṣe takuntakun ààrẹ sísọ lójú eégún ọ̀rọ̀ yìí nínú ìfọ̀rọ̀wérọ̀ tí àwọn akọ̀ròyìn ilé ìjọba l'Àbújá ṣe fún lẹ́yìn ìgbà tí ó pẹ̀lú àwọn ẹbí rẹ̀ àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ àti àwọn lẹ́ẹ̀kan nínú ìṣàkóso kírun ọdún iléyà nílé ìjọba ni gẹ́gẹ́ bí ààrẹ Muhammadu Buhari ṣe wí wọ́n ní pé ọ̀rọ̀ tí ààrẹ sọ yìí wípé àwọn ṣe takuntakun àwọn sì sa gbogbo agbára wọn láti rí i pé ìwà ìgbésùmọ̀mí àti agbébọn di ohun àfẹ́yìn tẹ́gun aláré fi sọ lórílẹ̀‐èdè wa Nàìjíríà òun náà ló wáyé lẹ́yìn ọjọ́ méjì tí àwọn onísùmọ̀mí ẹ̀dá kan tí wọ́n kọlu àwọn tí ń kọ̀wọ́ rìn pẹ̀lú gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Borno iyun Babangana Zulum bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ́jọ́bọ̀ Thursday ní ìbúgbàmù àdó olóró níbejì wáyé ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ tó jẹ́ wípé ó wáyé láti ọwọ́ àwọn afurasí ikọ̀ ẹ̀sìn ọ̀kọ́kọ́ ẹ̀dá Boko Haram lẹ́yìn tó wáyé ní Maiduguri tí ìṣolúlu ìpínlẹ̀ Borno níbi tó ti jẹ́ wípé àwọn èèyàn farapa yánnayànna tí àwọn míì sì tún jẹ́ ọlọ́run nípè ṣùgbọ́n ààrẹ Muhammadu Buhari tó mú wá sí ìrántí wọn wípé ṣe é rí wípé màálù tó jẹ́ èbù tó ń fìyà jẹ Fúlàní lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ lórílẹ̀‐èdè wa Nàìjíríà àti pé bí gbogbo rẹ̀ ṣe ń lọ báyìí àwọn ìkọlù tí ń wáyé kìí ṣe pé orí ìṣàkóso òun ló ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ ó ní ṣe bí gbèsè tí òun bá ń lẹ̀ náà ni ó ní pé owó ẹ̀rẹ̀ ètò ààbò tó wà ńlẹ̀ tí àwọn bá lẹ̀ òun náà ni àwọn ń rún lẹ́nu tí àwọn ò rún tán ṣùgbọ́n síbẹ̀síbẹ̀ ẹ̀gàn níyẹn o àwọn ṣe bí agbára àwọn ṣe mọ lórí àti kápá rẹ̀ ẹ̀rẹ̀ bí ẹ̀pá bá sọnù lébè á lọ rèé bikún ni bí ó ṣe ní ètò ààbò tó wá mẹ́ẹ̀ yìí ó ní síbẹ̀síbẹ̀ òun ò ní ṣe aláìtahùn sí àwọn àjọ tó ń rí sí ètò ààbò lórílẹ̀‐èdè wa Nàìjíríà lórí ipò tó kù díẹ̀ káàtó àti àwọn ìṣòro lọ́kan-jọ̀kan tí à ń kojú ní apá ìwọ̀ oòrùn àríwá orílẹ̀‐èdè wa Nàìjíríà àti àárín gbùngbùn àríwá tó fi dé àwọn apá gúúsù àti àwọn ibìkan lórílẹ̀‐èdè wa Nàìjíríà ó ní ṣùgbọ́n o ó ní ṣe rí àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ tí òun rí gbà àti ìgbésẹ̀ tí wọ́n ń gbé lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ ó fi hàn pé wọ́n ń ṣe akitiyan ọ̀wọ́ wàá fẹ́ kí wọ́n tún wá sọ́tò bí wọn kó lè dáadáa kí wọ́n sọ́sọ́kò tó wọn kó lè nítorí pé mo fẹ́ kò ṣeé jẹ lọ́bẹ̀ wọ́n ní ẹ̀wò nígbà tí àwọn gba ìṣàkóso lọ́dún 2015 ó ní gbogbo ẹ̀ náà ló fọn lójú ṣùgbọ́n síbẹ̀síbẹ̀ àwọn gbé ìgbésẹ̀ tó lórí náà ni àwọn sì ń ṣe àwọn ń ṣe takuntakun àwọn ò wá fi mọ báwọn ò ní ẹ wá wò ó ṣe rí gbogbo tó tó àtẹ̀yí tó yẹ láti jẹ́ kí wọ́n lè bá a ṣe dáadáa sí i òun náà ni àwọn yọ̀ǹda nínú ọ̀rọ̀ ẹni tó jẹ́ amúgbálẹ́pẹ́ pàtàkì fún ààrẹ ní lórí ọ̀rọ̀ ìròyìn àti ìkànsí aráàlú Garba Shehu ó sọ di mímọ̀ oníṣẹ́rí ààrẹ Muhammadu Buhari ó sì fi dá wọn lójú wípé ẹ̀ wò ṣe rí gbogbo tí wọ́n bá nílò pátápátá wọn ni àwọn ò gbé gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìgbésẹ̀ tí àwọn ó sì yọ̀ǹda fún wọn ó ní pé kòkò wá ní gbomi kó gbẹ̀yìn kó tún gba ṣoṣo inú rẹ̀ mọ́ àwọn agbésùmọ̀mí ẹ̀dá lọ́wọ́ láìpẹ́ láì jìnnà ọ̀rọ̀ wọn ò di àfẹ́yìn tẹ́gun alárẹ̀ ń fi sọ.
lórí ọ̀rọ̀ ààrẹ fún ẹgbẹ́ àwọn agbẹjọ́rò nílẹ̀ yìí Ajíbádé ti ké àpáta kú oríire o olùdíje fún ipò ààrẹ ẹgbẹ́ àwọn agbẹjọ́rò lórílẹ̀‐èdè wa Nàìjíríà èyí ní NBA lásìkò ètò ìdìbò wọn tó ṣe kẹnubodò ọ̀mọ̀wé Babátúndé Ajíbádé SAN ti kí ẹni tí ó jáwé olúborí nínú ètò ìdìbò náà èyí ni Olúmídé Àpáta ló gbẹyẹmọ Ajíbádé àti àgbà agbẹjọ́rò míì lọ́wọ́ tí orúkọ rẹ̀ ń jẹ́ Délé Adésínà pẹ̀lú àlàfo tó pọ̀ gan-an. Ó ní ìbò tó dé díẹ̀ ní 10,000 ti ṣe ìdá 54 gbogbo ìbò tí wọ́n dé. Ajíbádé ní ìbò tó lé díẹ̀ ní 4,000 nígbàtí Adésínà ní ìbò tó dé díẹ̀ ní 4,000. Wọ́n ní lórí ẹ̀rọ ayélujára náà ni wọ́n ti dé ìbò náà èyí tí ó wáyé fún odidi wákàtí 24 gbáko bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti aago 11 alẹ́ ọjọ́rú Wednesday. Wọ́n ní jíjáwé olúborí yìí ló ṣe pàtàkì lásìkò tí a wáyé torí pé kíni wọ́n ní ìgbà àkọ́kọ́ nìyí tí ẹni tí kìí ṣe àgbà agbẹjọ́rò tí kìí ṣe SAN yóò di ààrẹ ẹgbẹ́ àwọn agbẹjọ́rò nílẹ̀ yìí láti ọdún 1989 tí olóògbé Alao Aka Bashorun fi jẹ́ adarí ẹgbẹ́ yìí èyí tí ó jẹ́ àṣeyọrí ńlá fún àwọn ọ̀dọ́ tó jẹ́ agbẹjọ́rò lórílẹ̀‐èdè wa Nàìjíríà. Ajíbádé sọ nínú àtẹ̀jáde kan tó fi síta pé òun ti kí ọ̀gbẹ́ni Olúmídé Àpáta kú oríire o fún jíjáwé olúborí nínú ètò ìdìbò ààrẹ ẹgbẹ́ wọn tó wáyé láàrin ọjọ́ 29 sí 30 oṣù keje ọdún 2020. Olúmídé Àpáta ní inú òun dùn pé àwọn alátakò òun lásìkò ètò ìdìbò náà ni wọ́n ti gbà láti bá òun ṣiṣẹ́ pọ̀ tí òun sì ní ìgbàgbọ́ pé pẹ̀lú àtìlẹ́yìn wọn gbogbo èròǹgbà òun fún ẹgbẹ́ yìí òun náà ni ó wá sí ìmúṣẹ. Àmọ́ tí Adésínà ọ̀kan lára àwọn olùdíje bu ẹnu àtẹ́lu ìbò tó gbé Olúmídé wọlé gẹ́gẹ́ bí ààrẹ fún ẹgbẹ́ àwọn agbẹjọ́rò lórílẹ̀‐èdè wa Nàìjíríà.
sọ tí ò bá nídìí obìnrin yìí jẹ́ Kúmọ́lú ẹni tó jẹ́ mínísítà fún ìgbòkègbodò ọkọ̀ lórílẹ̀‐èdè wa Nàìjíríà ọ̀gbẹ́ni Rotimi Amechi mà ti sọ̀rọ̀ lọ́jọ́ Ẹtì Friday. Ó ní ẹ̀wọ́ ìdí iléèwé tí orílẹ̀‐èdè wa Nàìjíríà tó fi tẹkọ̀ létí lọ sí orílẹ̀‐èdè China wípé àwọn fẹ́ yáwó. Ó ní pé ìtorí wípé èlé tó wà ń bẹ̀ òun náà ló kéré jọjọ àti pé ìgbà tí wọ́n fi dá a padà òun náà ló gùn gbànàgbànà bí ọwọ́ aṣọ. Bákan náà ni ìgbà bí ọdún tó jẹ́ wípé wọ́n lè kọ́kọ́ wí pé àwọn ò ní san láàrin bí àwọn ọdún báyìí kí wọ́n tó máa san lọ. Ó ní pé ọjọ́ náà ó ní ọdún náà òun náà ló mọ̀ ṣe é fi mọ́ dáadáa. Ó sọ̀rọ̀ ilẹ̀kùn ó ní pé tá a bá gbogbo àlálẹ̀ àti tó rọ̀ mọ́ owó léyìí tí àwọn fẹ́ ya ní orílẹ̀-èdè China yìí káwá gbé sẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ orílẹ̀-èdè Gẹ̀ẹ́sì. Ó ní pé kò fẹ́ẹ̀ sí èyí tó fẹ́ẹ̀ dáa tó ti orílẹ̀-èdè China. Mínísítà sọ̀rọ̀ nígbà tí wọ́n ń takò tó béèrè sí i lórí ètò iléeṣẹ́ móhùnmáwòrán kan. Ó sọ di mímọ̀ wípé bí orílẹ̀-èdè wa Nàìjíríà bá fi dẹ́kun láti máa yá àwọn owó ó túmọ̀ sí pé gbogbo àwọn iṣẹ́ àkànṣe tíjọba àpapọ̀ orílẹ̀-èdè wa Nàìjíríà tí wọ́n dáwọ́lé láti jẹ́ kí ọrọ̀ àwọn ọmọ orílẹ̀-èdè wa lọ́rùn òun náà ni òpin òdebà. Ó sọ di mímọ̀ ó ní pé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn èèyàn òun náà ni wọ́n ń béèrè wípé sọ orílẹ̀-èdè wa Nàìjíríà wá tó tán láti wá dá owó èyí tí wọ́n bá yà yìí láti wá dá padà. Ó ní pé ẹ wò ó àwọn ò san owó náà ni. Ó ní ẹ wò ó owó tó jẹ́ wípé àwọn fẹ́ ya tó jẹ́ pé 20 ọdún òun náà ni àwọn ò fi san pẹ̀lú èlé tí àwọn máa san lórí rẹ̀ tó jẹ́ pé ìdá 3 òdìbẹ̀lẹ̀njà náà ni. Ó ní pé orílẹ̀-èdè wo ló lè ṣeré ilé ìfáwọn pẹ̀lú ọjọ́ èyí tí wọ́n fún àwọn láti máa fi dá padà àti ìgbésẹ̀ tó rọ̀ mọ́. Ó ní ẹ wá wò ó bí owó ọ̀hún tí wọ́n bá ti fọwọ́ sí i tí wọ́n sì ti gbà láti yá báyìí. Ó ní pé tààràtàrà ọ̀dọ̀ àwọn kan gbélé agbaṣẹ́ṣe ọ̀hún náà lọ́wọ́ náà mọ̀ darí náà sí. Ó nítorí pé ìtì àfọwọ́ náà ṣe ó ti wà ńlẹ̀ lọ́jàrà. Ó ní pé ẹ wò ó ẹ má jà tanra wa tá a bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ wípé à ń yáwó ìlànà àti ìgbésẹ̀ tó rọ̀ mọ́ owó eléyìí òun náà ló rọrùn bí ìgbà tí èèyàn bá ń fẹ́ràn jẹ̀kọ tó sì dùn yùngbàyùngbà bí ìgbà tí èèyàn bá mọ àgbáyún àti ẹ̀kọ́ papọ̀. Ó wá rọ gbogbo àwọn èèyàn wípé ẹ wò ó ṣe rí gbogbo ìgbésẹ̀ tí àwọn ń gbé fún ìdẹ̀rùn àwọn ọmọ orílẹ̀-èdè wa Nàìjíríà náà ni. Ó ní ẹ̀yin náà wá wò ó tí kẹ̀ bá ṣe wípé àwọn ìjọba tó kó gbá wọlé tó yẹ pé wọ́n ṣe gbogbo bó ṣe tó àti bó ṣe yẹ lórí àwọn amáyédẹrùn ni kí làwọn fẹ́ máa lọ rẹ̀ yáwó ní òkè ìtasí. Ó ní ṣùgbọ́n ó bà ní kò bàjẹ́. Ó ní pé n tó yẹ ká máa ṣe òun náà ni pé ká máa yin ìjọba tó wà lóde yìí wípé wọ́n ti rò pé kí àwọn tiẹ̀ ṣe wọ́n ní ilé ìgbìmọ̀ asòfin àgbà orílẹ̀-èdè wa Nàìjíríà òun náà ló yẹ kí wọ́n mọ rírì tí àwọn ṣe àti àwọn ọmọ orílẹ̀-èdè yìí lórí ìgbésẹ̀ tí àwọn gbé láti jẹ́ kí àwọn amáyédẹrùn lórílẹ̀-èdè wa Nàìjíríà kó di èyí tí ó tún gbéra so dáadáa. Nígbà tí wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ síwájú tí wọ́n ń bi léèrè wípé ó dàbí ìgbà tí wọ́n ní pé gbogbo àlàálẹ̀ tí wọ́n filẹ̀ lórí àti sanwó yìí bí ìgbà tá a fẹ́ ta ogún bí wa agbára tá a ní lórí àṣẹ orílẹ̀-èdè wa ni. Ó ní pé irọ́ ní jẹ́ àlọ́ wípé kò sí ní tó jọ́ wípé àwọn tí wọ́n bò ní lónìí jẹ́ wọn ò ní kọ́ bí olórin ṣe kọ́ ni. Ó ní ṣe bí níbi ní tí àwọn fi wò ó pé kí àwọn gbèrú ìgbésẹ̀ báyìí òun náà ní káwọn lè bá rí owó náà yá wọ́n wá sọ síwájú pé ṣé bíbi tẹ́ ẹ ti fẹ́ yáwó lára àwọn ìlànà tí wọ́n fún yín òun náà ni pé tẹ́ ẹ bá fi lè kùnà láti san owó ọ̀hún àwọn lè gbésẹ̀ lẹ́yìn tó bá wu àwọn ní orílẹ̀-èdè yín tí kò sì ní í sí wípé bóyá àwa ń pàṣẹ fúnra wa ń bẹ̀ ó ní kò sí ní sójọ́ ó ní gbogbo ìlànà tó wà nílẹ̀ láti san owó ọ̀hún ó ní kẹ́yìn ọjà tààrí nítorí rẹ̀ orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà yóò rí owó náà san fún ogún ọdún.
tó ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn ti ní kí àwọn olùkọ́ iléèwé girama wọlé ò lọ́jọ́ ajé Monday ọjọ́ 3 oṣù kẹjọ ṣáájú ètò ìdánwò WAEC tí wọ́n ní yóò wáyé lọ́jọ́ 17 oṣù kẹjọ olùdámọ̀ràn pàtàkì sí gómìnà lórí ọ̀rọ̀ iléèwé alákọ̀ọ́bẹ̀rẹ̀ àti girama ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn arábìnrin Rónkẹ́ Ṣóyọ̀ǹbọ̀ ló pàṣẹ yìí tó sì sọ pé ìdí tí àwọn fi ní kí wọ́n wọlé ni láti jẹ́ kí àwọn adarí iléèwé àti àwọn olùkọ́ gbáradì fún ìwọlé àwọn akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ lọ́jọ́ 4 oṣù kẹjọ gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn gómìnà Dàpọ̀ Abíọ́dún ni àwọn tún ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ láti lè jẹ́ kí wọ́n pé àwọn tí ìjọba kó fún wọn láti ṣe ìdánwò náà ni o kí ó lè bá àdí pínpín láàrin iléèwé aládàáni àti ti ìjọba ó ní ó ṣe dandan kí gbogbo àwọn iléèwé yìí tẹ̀lé àwọn ìlànà tí ìjọba gbé kalẹ̀ láti dènà àjàkálẹ̀ àrùn COVID-19 lórílẹ̀‐èdè wa Nàìjíríà ó ní àwọn rọ gbogbo àwọn tí ọ̀rọ̀ náà gbèrú láti rí i pé ààbò tó péye wà fún àwọn akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ nípasẹ̀ àwọn ètò tí àwọn ti là kalẹ̀ gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìjọba ó ní kí àwọn sì tún mọ́ fi àsìkò yìí rán àwọn èèyàn létí pàápàá jùlọ àwọn èèyàn ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn pé akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ iléèwé girama tí wọ́n wà ní kíláàsì 3 ní SS3 ni ó wọlé o lọ́jọ́ 4 oṣù kẹjọ fún ìgbáradì ìdánwò WAEC.
tó bá ti wà nípínlẹ̀ Ògùn tó sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ẹ̀kọ́ jíkẹ́mi náà ti lé mu báyìí kí n wálé kí n di ọmọ wálé wọ́n ní lórí ìgbésẹ̀ àti ìforíokò ọ̀rọ̀ sọ́dún tí ó wáyé láàrin ìjọba àpapọ̀ ilẹ̀ yìí àti àjọ WAEC lórí ìgbà tí ètò ìdánwò WAEC ọdún ìtìyí tí yóò wáyé wọ́n ní pé ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ wọ́n hàn yín ọ̀nà ni wọ́n ti kéde àtúnṣe ráńpẹ́ sí ìgbésẹ̀ àti sí àwọn ilé ẹ̀kọ́ padà kí àwọn akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ sì wọlé wọ́n ní ọ̀rọ̀ yìí ọ̀nà ni wọ́n nà ń bẹ́ẹ̀ nínú àtẹ̀jáde kan tí wọ́n fi léde fún àwọn akọ̀ròyìn lọ́jọ́ Ẹtì Friday tó sì di ìbuwọ́lù láti wẹ́n tó jẹ́ kọmíṣánná fún ètò ẹ̀kọ́ ìmọ̀ sáyẹ́ǹsì àti ìmẹ̀rọ Ọlásùnkànmí Ọlálẹ́yẹ wọ́n ní àtẹ̀jáde náà ọ̀nà ló tẹ́ pẹpẹ rẹ̀ wípé àwọn ìdánilẹ́kọ̀ọ́ tí wọ́n ń ṣe fún àwọn akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ tó wà ní ìpele àṣekágbá ní ilé ẹ̀kọ́ girama àgbà SS3 ni yóò máa tẹ̀síwájú di ìgbà tí ètò ìdánwò náà tí yóò fi bẹ̀rẹ̀ wọ́n ní pé ètò ìdánwò WAEC òun náà ni yóò wáyé ní ọjọ́ 17 nínú oṣù kẹjọ tá a wà yìí pẹ̀lú àfikún rẹ̀ wípé àwọn akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ yìí òun náà ni wọ́n wà ní ìsinmi fún ọdún iléyá tí wọ́n sì bẹ̀rẹ̀ ní ọjọ́rú Wednesday ọjọ́ 21 ọjọ́ kọkànlélọ́gbọ̀n oṣù keje tí wọ́n sì padà sílé ẹ̀kọ́ lọ́jọ́ ajé Monday ọjọ́ 3 oṣù kẹjọ nígbà tí àwọn akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ tí wọ́n wà ní kíláàsì 3 ní ilé ẹ̀kọ́ girama kékeré JSS3 àti àwọn tó wà ní kíláàsì 4 ní ilé ẹ̀kọ́ alákọ̀ọ́bẹ̀rẹ̀ ìyún primary 6 wọ́n sì wà nílé gẹ́gẹ́ bí ó ṣe wà nínú àtòtẹ́lẹ̀ bí wọ́n ṣe padà wọlé fún ètò ìdánwò wọn lọ́jọ́ 10 àti 20 oṣù kẹjọ yìí tí ó sì rọ àwọn tí ọ̀rọ̀ náà kàn lágbọn ètò ẹ̀kọ́ ní ìpínlẹ̀ yìí pé ẹ wo iṣẹ́ rí àlàálẹ̀ ọ̀tún yìí lórí ètò ẹ̀kọ́ yìí òun náà ló di bí bọ́ọ̀lù láti ọwọ́ ìgbìmọ̀ aláṣẹ ìpínlẹ̀ yìí lọ́jọ́ 21 oṣù keje kọmíṣánná náà ṣe aláìmọrírì akitiyan àwọn tí ọ̀rọ̀ kàn lẹ́ka ètò ẹ̀kọ́ ní ìpínlẹ̀ yìí lórúkọ ẹni orí sàdá onílù tí ò ní jí ó tún gómìnà Ṣèyí Mákindé fún ìgbárùkùtì aláìlẹ́gbẹ́ wọn àti akitiyan ohun iṣẹ́ takuntakun tí wọ́n ń ṣe lásìkò ìpalẹ̀mọ́ fún àti padà sílé ẹ̀kọ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ iṣẹ́ àwọn akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ní pẹrẹwu ọpẹ́ òṣèré ìfarajì iṣẹ́ wọn ìfẹ́ àwọn akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ tí wọ́n ní àti bí wọ́n ṣe ń gbé ìgbésẹ̀ tí wọ́n sì ń pa ìlànà àti òfin tó rọ̀ márùn COVID-19 mọ́ ní àwọn ilé ẹ̀kọ́ gbogbo ó ní pé jẹ́ èyí tó jẹ́ pé kò ní ẹgbẹ́ rárá ó ní pé tí ẹ̀ bá ṣe tiwọn ni gbogbo làkàkà àwọn náà òun náà ni kò lè wá sí ìmúṣẹ kọmíṣánná wa tẹ̀síwájú bó ṣe fi àdúrà pẹ̀kún ọ̀rọ̀ rẹ̀ wípé gbogbo làkàkà àti akitiyan àwọn láti rí i pé àwọn akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ṣe àṣeyọrí lórí gbogbo ìdánwò tí wọ́n ò bá ṣe òun náà ni kò ní já sásán.
ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo àjọ elétò ìdìbò ilẹ̀ wa INEC ti fi orúkọ àwọn olùdíje fún ipò gómìnà síta orúkọ àwọn olùdíje fún ipò gómìnà àti àwọn igbákejì wọn ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo ní àjọ elétò ìdìbò ilẹ̀ wa ti fi léde báyìí nítorí ètò ìdìbò gómìnà tí ó wáyé lọ́jọ́ 10 oṣù 10 ọdún 2020 lánàá ọjọ́ ẹtì Friday ni àjọ INEC fi orúkọ wọn síta ní ìbámu pẹ̀lú ìwé òfin ètò ìdìbò ilẹ̀ wa Nàìjíríà. wọ́n ní gbogbo àwọn olùdíje náà ni wọ́n jẹ́ ọkùnrin tí ó ti sí obìnrin kankan nínú wọn. lára wọn láti rí gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo arákùnrin Rotimi Akeredolu lábẹ́ ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú olóṣìṣọ́wọ̀ ní APC, ẹni tí ó ń wákò ṣe sáà ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kejì lọ́fíìsì gẹ́gẹ́ bí gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo. ẹnìkejì ni Èyítáyọ̀ Jẹ́gẹ́dẹ́ lábẹ́ ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú alábùradà People's Democratic Party PDP. àwọn míì nìwọ̀nyí: Rotimi Adeleye Akindejoye Accord Party, Joshua Olúwafẹ́mi Adéwọlé Action Alliance, Adeleye Adékúnlé Peter African Action Congress, Adelegan Adédàpọ̀ Olúwaṣeyẹ African Democratic Congress, Martin Kúnlé Ọlátẹ́rù Ọlágbẹ́gẹ́ Action Democratic Party ADP, Olówólọ́badélé Abga, Aminu Hakeem Ọlánrewájú Allied People's Movement. ẹ wo mélòó la fẹ́ kà nínú eyín àdípẹ̀lẹ́ tá a bá ní àmọ́ kà lọ àní kúrò ń bẹ̀ ọ́. wọ́n ní àwọn ṣe ilé láti jẹ́ kí ohun tí ìwé òfin ètò ìdìbò ilé wa láti jẹ́ kí wá sí ìmúṣẹ òun náà ni àwọn fi ṣe èyí o, torí pé bí ó ṣe yẹ kí àwọn ṣe òun náà làwọn ṣe kó lè bá a rí bí ó ṣe rí, tí wọ́n sì wá rọ gbogbo àwọn olùdíje sípò gómìnà láti ṣe jẹ́jẹ́ o, kí wọ́n mọ̀ sí wu ìwà jàgídíjàgan lásìkò ètò ìdìbò, kí wọ́n sì kìlọ̀ fún gbogbo àwọn tí wọ́n tẹ̀lé wọn kí àwọn náà mọ̀ dá wàhálà kankan sílẹ̀ o.
tó ẹ jẹ́ mọ́ mẹ́lẹ̀ yìí ọ̀rọ̀ tó jáde láti ẹnu ẹ̀ tó jẹ́ gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Rivers náà ni Yezin Wike nígbà tí ń sọ̀rọ̀. wọ́n ní gómìnà Wike mọ̀ ti sọ̀rọ̀ tó sì ṣe àpèjúwe adíje dupò gómìnà nínú ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú APC ní ìpínlẹ̀ Edo Ozage Ize-Iyamu gẹ́gẹ́ bí òkúta ọjà tí kò lè bá òde pàdé lásìkò ètò ìdìbò sípò gómìnà tí yóò wáyé ní ìpínlẹ̀ ọ̀hún ní ọjọ́ 19 nínú oṣù kẹsàn-án. Wike sọ̀rọ̀ yìí gẹ́gẹ́ bí ẹni tó jẹ́ alága ìgbìmọ̀ ìpolongo ètò ìdìbò fún gómìnà nínú ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú PDP ní ìpínlẹ̀ Edo lásìkò tí wọ́n fi ọ̀rọ̀ wá lẹ́nu wò nílé iṣẹ́ mọ́ọ̀máwòrán tó jẹ́ ti ìjọba àpapọ̀ ní ìpínlẹ̀ rẹ̀. ẹni tó fi ìdí ọ̀rọ̀ rẹ̀ múlẹ̀ nínú àgbálọgbábọ̀ òkodoro ọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́yìn tó wáyé lásìkò ìgbà tí ètò ìdìbò sípò gómìnà ní nǹkan bíi ọdún bíi 4 sẹ́yìn tó wáyé bẹ́ẹ̀ níbi tó ti tàn síra wọn gẹ́gẹ́ bí àtẹ̀jáde kan tí wọ́n fi léde buwọ́lù láti ọwọ́ kọmíṣánná fún ètò ìròyìn àti ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ ní ìpínlẹ̀ Rivers Police Eziri. gómìnà Wike pé alága gbogbo fún ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú APC lẹ́yìn tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n fọwọ́ sí júwe ilé fún Ádámù Ọ̀sọ́ọ̀mọlẹ̀ ti tú àṣírí fi ohun tí ẹni tí ó jẹ́ adíje dupò nínú ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú ọ̀hún tí wọ́n fà kalẹ̀ báyìí Ize-Iyamu wọ́n ní pé ti fi hàn fún aráyé. bẹ́ẹ̀ náà sì ni bí ọ̀rọ̀ bá ti bọ́lẹ̀ báyìí yẹn gábàáyì ọ̀nífọ́ wípé kò ṣeé kú mọ̀. Wike tẹ̀síwájú ó ní ẹ̀wọ́ jẹ́ nǹkan tó kù díẹ̀ káàtó bí ìgbà tí wọ́n fi ọ̀bọ lọ àwọn ènìyàn ìpínlẹ̀ Edo ni bí Ọ̀sọ́ọ̀mọlẹ̀ ṣe wá ń gbé ìgbésẹ̀ ìgbín tí ó ṣe gátán tí yóò tún wá fi àyà ara rẹ̀ fa. ó ní pé ó kó ọ̀rọ̀ ara rẹ̀ jẹ lẹ́yìn tó jẹ́ pé òun náà ló máa ń sọ káàkiri ńgbà náà lọ́hùn wípé ẹ̀wọ́ ṣe rí ẹ mọ́ dìbò fún Ize-Iyamu nítorí wípé ó ní àwọn àṣepamọ́ kan tó kù díẹ̀ káàtó tó sì tún ní pẹ̀rẹ̀pẹ̀rẹ̀. ó ní Ádámù Ọ̀sọ́ọ̀mọlẹ̀ ti sọ di mímọ̀ fún àwọn èèyàn ìpínlẹ̀ Edo tẹ́lẹ̀ wípé ẹ̀wọ́ ṣe rí Ize-Iyamu tẹ́ ń wò yìí ó ní wọ́n lè kúrò nílé ìwé ni kò parí ẹ̀kọ́ rẹ̀. ó tún wá tẹ̀síwájú oníṣẹ́ náà ni ó da ICD sí ẹnìkan tó jẹ́ akẹgbẹ́ rẹ̀ lára tí kinní ọ̀hún sì jàǹbá nǹkan ọlọ́mọkùnrin rẹ̀. ó ní pẹ́ lẹ́yìn ìgbà yìí ọ̀hún náà ló tún wá ṣe àpéjúwe rẹ̀ gẹ́gẹ́ bí adigunjalè bó ṣe wà nínú ìwé ìròyìn Punch tí àwa sì ń kà wá kàn ń kà ní. ó ní gbogbo eléyìí ó lọ sọ wípé bígbà tí èèyàn bá fi ẹran dídí sọ ọ̀fọ́n òun náà ni tẹ́ bá lọ fi Ize-Iyamu sí ìdí owó ẹ kàn máa jẹ̀ka ni. ó ní gbogbo eléyìí sì ń járìnrìn ní ọpọlọ àwọn èèyàn tó jẹ́ wípé wọ́n wà ní ìpínlẹ̀ ọ̀hún. ó ní pé bóun náà ni yóò ṣe fọ gbogbo eléyìí mọ́. ó ní pé ẹ wò ó inú òun ti ẹ̀dùn wípé àwọn ọlọ́pọlọ pípé onímọ̀ nínú ẹ̀dá tí wọ́n sì mọ́wọ́ ọ̀tún yàtọ̀ sósì òun náà làwọn èèyàn tí wọ́n wà ní ìlú Benin. bẹ́ẹ̀ náà sì ni àwọn olùdìbò ní ìpínlẹ̀ Edo wọn ò kí ń gbàgbé ọ̀rọ̀ bọ̀rọ̀bọ̀rọ̀. ó ní nítorí ìdí eléyìí ó ní pé ó dàbí ohun àdójútì nítorí pé ẹni tó sọ̀rọ̀ tó tún wá lóhùn ọ̀sọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ mọ́ síbẹ̀ èèyàn ṣe máa ń gbàgbé ọ̀rọ̀ náà nù. ó ní nítorí ìdí eléyìí bí ẹni tó bá ṣe gá tó bá gbàgbé ṣe rí àwọn èèyàn tí wọ́n kó ṣe bí wọn ò ní gbàgbé ṣe bí Yorùbá tún wá bọ̀ wọ́n ní pé ìsọ̀rọ̀ ń gbèsè ìsúnkù síbẹ̀ òun náà ni ìgbésẹ̀ gangan. wọ́n ní pé ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú APC wọ́n fún Wike náà ní èsì ọ̀rọ̀ rẹ̀ láti ẹnu ẹni tó jẹ́ alága olùpolongo fún gómìnà nínú ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú ọ̀hún ìyún John Mayaki òun náà sọ̀rọ̀ ó ní pé ẹ̀wò ṣe rí ọjà léyìí tó jẹ́ pé ó ti kùtà òun gangan náà ni ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú PDP fúnra rẹ̀ ní ìpínlẹ̀ ọ̀hún gẹ́gẹ́ bí ẹni tí ó ń sọ̀rọ̀ gẹ́gẹ́ yìí Wike bó ṣe sọ ó ní ṣe bí Wike òun náà ló sọ̀rọ̀ síwájú ó ní ẹ̀wọ́ ṣe rí àwọn tí wọ́n jẹ́ olùgbowó orí nínú ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú ọ̀hún ó ṣe àpèjúwe wọn gẹ́gẹ́ bíi pé àná wọn ta ẹgbẹ́ náà fún Godwin Obaseki wípé òun ló pariwo ńgbà náà lọ́hùn òun náà tún ṣe wá pọ̀ǹdà báyìí ó nítorí ìdí eléyìí Wike gangan náà ni kò mọ nǹkan tí ń sọ ọ̀rọ̀ ara rẹ̀ gan òun náà ló tún sọ síta ó ní ẹ̀wá wo mímí kan mí àwọn nínú ètò ìdìbò tí ó wáyé wọ́n ní tó ń tẹnu rẹ̀ òun náà ni ẹni tó jẹ́ gómìnà ní ìpínlẹ̀ ọ̀hún tó wà nínú ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú PDP Godwin ó sọ̀rọ̀ ó ní ẹ̀wò ṣe rí bẹ́ẹ̀ bá dákẹ́ tara yóò bá yín dákẹ́ o ó ní ṣe rí ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú APC wọ́n ti ń kó àwọn ọmọ ọ̀sọ́tá jọ láti jẹ́ kí ọ̀fọ́n àkótọ̀ sí gbẹ̀gìrì kí gbogbo ló sì mọ di mẹ̀yàmẹ̀yà ní ìpínlẹ̀ ọ̀hún Mayaki tún sọ̀rọ̀ ó ní pé gbogbo nǹkan tí Obaseki ń sọ àti ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú tó wà báyìí sọ ó ní pé ṣe rí wọ́n ti rí ojú ìjà nílàsà ni wọ́n sì mọ̀ wípé kinní ọ̀hún kò fẹ́ ṣẹnu rẹ̀ fún àwọn mọ́.
ìròyìn tó kan lábàá máa pè ní ògúlùtù ohun òkò gbọ́n òkò. lórí ọ̀rọ̀ ìwádìí àjọ EFCC àwọn agbẹjọ́rò kan ti sọ fún agbẹjọ́rò Magu pé òun ṣe tí ò bófin mu pàápàá jùlọ òfin iṣẹ́ agbẹjọ́rò lóde wa Nàìjíríà ṣáájú ìwádìí adelé tẹ́lẹ̀ fún àjọ tó ń gbógun ti ṣíṣe owó olókùmọkùmọ ìrìn àjò EFCC ọ̀gbẹ́ni Ibrahim Magu èyí tí ó wáyé lọ́sẹ̀ tó ń bọ̀ àwọn agbẹjọ́rò kan tí ń fìdánmọ́ agbẹjọ́rò Magu ọ̀gbẹ́ni Wahab ṣètò pé ohun tí ń ṣe òun náà ni ò bá òfin ẹgbẹ́ wọn mu àwọn ẹgbẹ́ agbẹjọ́rò kan tí wọ́n pe orúkọ wọn ní League of Abuja Young Lawyers LAYL ti rọ ìgbìmọ̀ olùwádìí tí ààrẹ gbé kalẹ̀ ẹ̀ ní ààrẹ Muhammadu Buhari lábẹ́ alága wọn onídàájọ́ Ayọ̀ Isa Salami láti fi òfin de Shittu pé ohun tó ń ṣe ó ti tako ara wọn o wọ́n ní ajá ò ní rorò títí kó wá aṣọ ojúlé méjì pé kò ṣeé ṣe fún Shittu kó jẹ́ agbẹjọ́rò Magu kó tún jẹ́ agbẹjọ́rò àjọ EFCC lẹ́ẹ̀kan náà kó tún jẹ́ agbẹjọ́rò àwọn méjèèjì wọ́n ní rárá wọ́n ní kámọ́rì ní Paul wí o àmọ́ Shittu sọ pé òun ò tí ì ṣe ohun tó burú o àbí tàpá sí òfin iṣẹ́ agbẹjọ́rò tí òun ṣe yìí ó ní ẹgbọ́n kí ló burú ń bẹ̀ ó ní tí òun bá jẹ́ agbẹjọ́rò Magu tóun tún jẹ́ agbẹjọ́rò àjọ EFCC ó ní ẹbí àjọ EFCC léèrè pé ṣé wọ́n sanwó oṣù fóun ni ṣèbí iṣẹ́ ni wọ́n gbé fóun tí Magu náà sì gbé iṣẹ́ fóun ó ní níwọ̀n ìgbà tó jẹ́ pé òun ò kì í ṣe òṣìṣẹ́ àjọ tí ń gbógun ti ṣíṣe owó olúkúmọkùmọ EFCC ó ní òun lẹ́tọ̀ọ́ láti ṣiṣẹ́ fún Magu torí pé kò sẹ́ni tó fóun lówó oṣù nínú àwọn méjèèjì ó ní òun ò lè sọ nǹkan kan nípa ọ̀rọ̀ tí wọ́n sọ yìí o àmọ́ gbogbo àwọn náà ni ìṣòwò ògùn tẹja ńlá bá sì sọ lódò gbogbo àwọn làwọn mọye tó tó pé iṣẹ́ ìta àwọn jọ ń ṣe náà ni o tí òun sì ń tẹ̀ lófin àfi tó bá yẹ pé òfin èdè wa Nàìjíríà ó ti di méjì lókù ó ní ká ní òfin tá a ṣe ń lò náà la ṣe ń lò ó ní ká sọ pé ìlànà àtòfin iṣẹ́ agbẹjọ́rò táwọn jọ mọ̀ yìí náà ni ó ní òun ò tí ì ṣe tó bófin mu ó ní òun tún lè ṣiṣẹ́ fún òṣìṣẹ́ àjọ EFCC míì gan ni wọ́n bá tó jẹ́ pé òun ò kúkú gba owó oṣù lọ́wọ́ wọn lóṣooṣù ó ní ẹ̀ tó bá wù òun lòun lè ṣiṣẹ́ fún un pé ohun tí wọ́n ń sọ yìí wọ́n ní kò sọ̀rọ̀ ń bẹ̀.
tó ọ̀gbẹ́ni Ògúnṣínà ẹ káàárọ̀.
ẹ káàárọ̀. mo kí wọn aráalé pé a kó oṣù tuntun oṣù yá pé wa
àsìkò ọdún àná
àdẹ̀kù ọdún ṣì ń lọ lónìí.
ọdún lè jẹ́ náà.
onígbogbo ni jẹun.
ẹni lálọ́ máa jẹun káàkiri.
àṣírí sí ẹran.
ẹran ló jẹ pẹ́.
àṣírí sí ẹran.
tó lórí èyí tí a kà kí ẹ tó wọlé ẹ̀yin ká ṣe àgbéyẹ̀wò ọ̀rọ̀ tí ó ní ṣe pẹ̀lú owó tó orílẹ̀-èdè wa Nàìjíríà fẹ́ yá ní orílẹ̀-èdè China tí a méjì sọ̀rọ̀ yìí pé bí a bá yá owó yìí gbogbo àwọn aṣẹ́ àkànṣe tó wà ńlẹ̀ òun ló dàbí ìgbà tó jẹ́ wípé kò ní lè lọ mọ́ wọ́n tún wáyé pé 20 ọdún ni wọ́n fi san owó yìí gẹ́gẹ́ bí n tó kọ́lé pé tó pé 20 ọdún wọ́n fi dá padà eléyìí bẹ̀ sí àwọn èlé tí wọ́n máa san lórí rẹ̀ bíi ìdá mẹ́ta ó ní bílẹ̀njà 2.8% ni ẹ jí ká wá wo 20 ọdún ọba mẹ́ẹ̀dùnmáyé lọ́mọge tí ọkàn yẹn gbà sí kéde pé wọ́n ń gba kínní ilẹ̀ fún àwọn ìran tí ń bọ̀ àti àwa tá a ìbá ń bẹ̀ báyìí.
ọmọ.
ẹ ṣe àwọn tó kọ́ wa níjọba àwa ara wa àti ẹ̀kọ́ táwọn nípa ìjọba àwa ara wa sọ fún wa pé government is a continuum. Èèyàn máa ń ṣe ìjọba lọ ni. Èèyàn kì í sọ pé tí mo bá ìgbésẹ̀ tí mo bá gbé fún sáà tèmi nìkan ni rárá o. Ẹ rí i pé tí wọ́n fẹ́ tó bá wọlé gómìnà tó bá dìbò tó wọlé wọ́n sọ pé you are inheriting the asset and liability àti èrè àti gbèsè pátápátá lèyàn máa ń jogún téèyàn bá di gómìnà àbò di ààrẹ orílẹ̀-èdè àbò di adarí níbì kan èèyàn máa ń inherit asset and liability ni. So tí kó tó di pé àwọn Buhari náà débẹ̀ ó níbi tí Nàìjíríà náà ti ń bọ̀ táwọn náà bá ń bẹ̀ so táwọn náà bá kó òmìnira táwọn náà fi sí ẹ̀bẹ̀ wa ni pé kó má bàjẹ́ kọjá àlà kó má bàjẹ́ kọjá àtúnṣe ibi tá à ń lọ yóò dàbí ẹni pé wọ́n ti fẹ́ ṣe bàjẹ́ kọjá àtúnṣe ibi tá à ń lọ nìyẹn tó bá sì di pé a ti ń ṣe àdéhùn tí ó lè fi orílẹ̀-èdè wa sínú ewu mi ò rò bóyá ó tọ́ ó dẹ̀ yẹ ká máa ṣe àdéhùn tó lè fi ọjọ́ iwájú orílẹ̀-èdè wa sínú ewu gbẹ̀yàn yàwó kọ́ ni wàhálà orílẹ̀-èdè tó jẹ́ owó jù lágbàáyé orílẹ̀-èdè tó lámìlaka jù lágbàáyé ní Amẹ́ríkà wọ́n jẹ gbèsè orílẹ̀-èdè tí ìpínlẹ̀ ní orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà ń sìn ìpínlẹ̀ tí tó jẹ́ owó jù àwọn ní ọrọ̀ ajé abẹ́lé wọn IGR wọn ló pọ̀ jù lágbàáyé ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó ń pa bíi bílíọ̀nù lọ́nà ọgbọ̀n lóṣù ó lé bílíọ̀nù lọ́nà ọgbọ̀n lóṣù àwọn ọ̀dẹ̀ wọn tún jẹ gbèsè jù gbogbo ìpínlẹ̀ so ẹ rí i pé kò sí nǹkan tó burú nínú gbèsè àmọ́ tó wá jẹ́ pé àdéhùn torí kí nkẹtẹ yáyàn lówó ẹ ti ní ọ̀rọ̀ àjọsọ ẹ ti tọwọ́ bọ̀wé tó wá jẹ́ pé àdéhùn àti agreement tẹ́jọ ní ohun tó lè fi ọjọ́ iwájú Nàìjíríà sínú ewu ni ẹ jẹ́ ká ro dáadáa o ṣe wá rí pé ìbéèrè tèmi wá ń bí etí tó wà lọ́kàn tèmi ni pé ìjọ́ òní Àmẹ́sí di mínísítà fún ètò ìṣúná tó jẹ́ pé àwọn náà máa sọ fún wa risk àti indemnity tó wà nínú gbèsè torí kíni a ní mínísítà fún ọ̀rọ̀ ètò ìṣúná àwọn dẹ̀ ni wọ́n wà ní
arábìnrin sí náà
láti ra ṣàyẹ̀ fún wa pé kàn báyìí ló ṣe yẹ kó jẹ́ o lójú tèmi èmi wò pé
bí àtọ̀rí pọ̀ kàn wọ́n ni wọ́n fi ń sọ.
ṣe lójú tèmi o èmi wò pé ẹ̀gbọ́n Nàìjíríà la wà yìí ká má wọlé ó dàbí ẹni pé ó fẹ́ àwọn ni mínísítà fún ọ̀rọ̀ tó ìgbòkègbodò ọkọ̀ ẹ dẹ̀ rí i pé gbogbo ọ̀nà tó ń ṣe náà gbogbo ojú ọ̀nà ojú ọ̀nà ojú irin ó dàbẹ̀ ní pé kàn wọ́n gbọ̀ngbọ̀ngbọ̀ngbọ̀ngbọ̀n bẹ́ẹ̀ tó dẹ̀ ni àwọn fi ń sọ̀rọ̀ àmọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ pé ẹni tí tàbá yáwó lọ́wọ́ China à ní lè ṣe gbogbo iṣẹ́ àkànṣe tó wà èmi ò rò bóyá ọ̀rọ̀ tó tọ́ láti sọ ni ṣé China nìkan lè yá ọ lówó ni àwọn báǹkì nígbà tí wọ́n lọ bọ́ orílẹ̀-èdè wọ́n láti Zambia ní báyìí nípò lọ́ba China pé afẹ́ ràn lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀rọ wà lọ́wọ́ ṣe kí nìkan nísìn wọ́n ti fẹ́ porúkọ Zambia dà sí branch of China torí àwọn ọmọ ológun ẹ̀ka ó ti di ẹ̀ka orílẹ̀-èdè China àwọn ọmọ ológun Zambia àwọn ti fi Chinese ṣọ̀gá wọ́n ti fi ṣínkó ṣọ̀gá ọmọ ológun lẹ̀ Zambia kó má sí pé àwọn náà débi tó ṣe pé a ní sovereignty wa kẹ́gbẹ́ orílẹ̀-èdè a lè sọ̀rọ̀ mọ́ lu wa kí wọ́n dàbẹ̀ nípa máa di ẹrú nílùú wa dandan ni kó jẹ́ China ni ṣé dandan ni tọ́ bá yín
àlàálẹ̀ rẹ̀ pé ó dùn ya.
kí ló jẹ́ pé ó dùn ya kò sí ẹ̀wò kò sí gbèsè tó dùn ya ká má parọ́ fúnra wa kò sí gbèsè tó dùn ya ẹ tó fẹ́ ya yẹn lówó mọ́ owó tó fẹ́ ya lèlè lórí aṣọ ìlé o àbí ó dẹ̀ ní ọjọ́ tó kà á lẹ̀ ṣé àwọn tí a lè ya lówó ṣọ́ ọ̀dẹ̀ ni wọ́n ni gbogbo iṣẹ́ àgbẹ̀ṣe tó wà ní orílẹ̀-èdè ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ China ló ń ṣe CCCC àbí China Civil Engineering Construction Company ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ọ̀nà Lagos Ìbàdàn.
kò sí iléeṣẹ́ kankan tó máa ṣe lórílẹ̀‐èdè wa.
nígbà tí à ń bá wọn.
àwọn ẹlẹ́dẹ̀ yorùbá
wọ́n máa kó káàkiri NSRCC Julius Berger tásí máa ṣe láti yọjú tí ó yẹ sí wàhálà kankan tí wọ́n dẹ̀ ṣe wọ́n bá táwọn náà ṣe kọ́ yẹn pé àwọn náà ìwà ìbàjẹ́ jẹgúdújẹrá Nàìjíríà ti wọnú wọn nígbà táwọn ẹlẹ́dẹ̀ dé sí Nàìjíríà wọnú wọn
àwọn náà wọ́n Nàìjíríà tẹ́lẹ̀.
mo sọ lórí ètò pé ìwà kan wà tó pé ní ìwà Nàìjíríà tó bá ti wọnú ẹ̀ báyìí ó mọ̀ ọmọdé ká bá lọ bẹ̀yìn ká bá tún délẹ̀ àmọ́ tí mò ń sọ ni pé gbogbo ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ iṣẹ́ àkànṣe tó wà ní orílẹ̀-èdè ẹ wo àwọn tán mú ní Ọ̀ṣun bíbí oṣù mẹ́ta sẹ́yìn tí wọ́n ń ṣe ibi tó ti wà kùsà àwọn ọmọ Chinese àwọn Chinko ní orílẹ̀ Yorùbá wọ́n ti di illegal miners bẹ́ẹ̀ ní Zamfara bẹ́ẹ̀ ní Niger State illegal miners ẹ̀wọ̀n tó fojú wọn rí ní ìpínlẹ̀ Kenya báyìí káàkiri tẹ́ ẹ bá ti fúnyàn ní ẹni tó jẹ́ pé tẹ́ bá ti fún ní àǹfààní kan mẹ́wàá ni ó lò ó yẹ kéèyàn kò dáadáa kíyàn tó ọ̀rọ̀ owó tó pa China pọ̀ inú tèmi dùn sí àmọ́ ṣe àwọn pé ìjọba ni ohun tó kọjú sẹ́nìkan
bẹ́ẹ̀ ìṣòro nù.
ló kọ́ sí ẹlòmíì ọ̀gbẹ́ni Michael Okoshina nípa ọ̀rọ̀ magu ni o wọ́n ní àwọn agbẹjọ́rò kan ẹgbẹ́ àwọn agbẹjọ́rò kan wọ́n ti fi ẹ̀sùn kan ẹni tó jẹ́ agbẹjọ́rò magu èyí ni Wahab Shittu wọ́n ní ohun tó ń ṣe òun náà ni ò bá òfin iṣẹ́ wọn mu tí àwọn olóyìnbó ń pè ní ethics pé kò ṣeé ṣe fún Wahab Shittu kó jẹ́ agbẹjọ́rò magu kó tún jẹ́ agbẹjọ́rò àjọ EFCC tí Wahab Shittu sì sọ fún wọn pé owó oṣù òṣìṣẹ́ àjọ EFCC wọn ò sanwó oṣù fún ẹni tó bá wò ló lè ṣe fún ǹjẹ́ ṣé ẹbí rẹ̀ ni àbáwọn tó gbéṣẹ́ fún kò sí bí ó ṣe ṣe láàrin àwọn méjèèjì jẹ́ pé kò ní fèsì bìkan ju bìkan lọ.
mo orílẹ̀-èdè mo ṣe rí agbẹjọ́rò tí ó gbẹ́jọ́ fún èèyàn méjì lórí ẹjọ́ kan náà iṣẹ́ tí wọ́n ní títí wọ́n bá ti fàyè gbà èmi lè ṣe amòfin díẹ̀ péréte ni mo mọ̀ nínú òfin èmi sì mọ̀ yàtọ̀ sí ethics profession lọ́ọ̀yà èmi mọ̀ ń farabalẹ̀ ka ìwé òfin Nàìjíríà láti rí i pé ohun tí mo mọ̀ ó jẹ́ ohun tí òfin sọ gangan torí àwọn amòfin náà òfin Nàìjíríà làwọn náà ń túmọ̀ so kò mo ń ṣiṣẹ́ iṣẹ́ tí mo kọ́ tí mo ń ṣe ni magu ni máa ń gbẹjọ́rò fún wọ́n ní lẹ́tà àjọ FCC ní máa ń gbẹjọ́rò torí pé magu jẹ́ alága ó dẹ̀ mú mi wọlé pé kí wọ́n máa bá wọn ṣàgbẹjọ́rò ìyẹn ṣe di wàhálà àmọ́ ohun tí mo sọ ni pé tí NBA ethics àjọ àwọn agbẹjọ́rò tí ethics wọn bá ti sọ pé nǹkan tó ń ṣe yìí kò bá òfin wa mu kò bá ìlànà wa mu túmọ̀ ní pé ohun tó ṣe ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ni ẹ̀rẹ̀ mọ̀ sọ pé ìlú tí ò bá ti sófin ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ò sí ń bẹ̀ ìtumọ̀ ni pé ìlú tí òfin bá ti wà ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ti wà ń bẹ̀ tá máa sọ pé ethics iṣẹ́ wa ni pé o ò lè máa ṣe agbẹjọ́rò EFCC àjọ kó tún máa ṣe agbẹjọ́rò alága àjọ yẹn torí àpọ̀nkan ní conflict of interest ó máa wà nínú bó ṣe máa ṣiṣẹ́ rẹ̀ so kò ní fẹ́ sí òótọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ nínú bí wàá ṣe máa gbọ́
táwọn agbẹjọ́rò yìí sọ ni.
so tó bá jẹ́ pé ìyẹn náà ni o mo rò bóyá èmi náà gba Shittu ní àmọ̀ràn káwọn náà fọwọ́ mú kan bẹ̀ èyàn lè jẹ́ méjì lábá àlàdé
ọlájà èrò rò kó
sójúlé méjì.
lórí ọ̀rọ̀ àwọn agbẹjọ́rò tẹ̀sán kí n sáré fi kí n jólè mọ́ fún ní fún ìgbà àkọ́kọ́ wọ́n ní ẹgbẹ́ àwọn agbẹjọ́rò lórílẹ̀‐èdè wa Nàìjíríà wọ́n ní ààrẹ tí kì í ṣe àgbà agbẹjọ́rò tí kì í ṣe SAN wọ́n ní bóyá ọdún 98 láti ọdún 1989 kò tí ì fẹ́ ṣẹlẹ̀ rí àgbà agbẹjọ́rò SAN ọ̀ràn ló mọ jẹ́ ààrẹ wọn kí lèyìn sọ fún wọn.
inú mi dùn torí mo ní ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn amòfin agbẹjọ́rò tí wọ́n jẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ mi wọ́n pọ̀ káàkiri wọ́n bí wọ́n nígbà tí wọ́n ṣe ìdìbò yẹn ní ìjẹta kọ́ nìyẹn ìjẹta mo dẹ̀ bí wọ́n pé bó ló ṣe lọ nítorí mi kọ́kọ́ fi dùn ní pé ìbò wọn yìí wọ́n ṣe ní orí ẹ̀rọ ayélujára ni ìgbà àkọ́kọ́ rèé tó máa ṣe online voting wọ́n dẹ̀ ṣe ní wọ́n máa ṣe káàkiri àwọn iléèwé ṣe àmọ́ tí wọ́n ṣe pé jẹ́ pé ó káàkiri gbogbo ìpínlẹ̀ gbogbo ìpínlẹ̀ 36 pátápátá ni wọ́n ti ń dìbò so wọ́n ti mọ iye ìbò tí wọ́n retí wọ́n ti mọ so bó ṣe ṣe ó da ìpèsè ètò ààbò yẹn wọ́n kàkó ìyàwó pẹ̀lú ẹ̀ wọ́n ṣe dáadáa alákọ̀ọ́kọ́ nìyẹn ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kejì ni pé ẹ wò ní ìsìn nínú àwọn tí wọ́n díje Túnjí Ajíbádé àgbàlagbà ni wọ́n àgbà agbẹjọ́rò ni wọ́n SAN Bàbá Délé Adésínà àgbà agbẹjọ́rò ni wọ́n SAN làwọn náà Olúmídé Àpáta tí ó jáwé olúborí àwọn ò tí ì dé SAN kódà ọ̀dọ́ ni wọ́n nígbà tí wọ́n máa sọ̀rọ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ tó sọ nígbà tó borí ó ní ìjáwé olúborí òun yìí fún àwọn ọ̀dọ́mọdé agbẹjọ́rò tó jẹ́ pé ìrẹ̀wẹ̀sì ti bá ọkàn wọn nítorí tíṣẹ̀ ti dà ní orílẹ̀-èdè ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ mi tí wọ́n dẹ̀ jẹ́ ẹ̀mùkànkùn kan ní radical approach àwọn ìwà ẹmọ radical unionism aluta pé ó dàbí ẹni pé ẹni táwọn dìbò fún yìí ẹni táwọn ń wò yìí ẹni tó ní radical approach ni ẹni tí ó lè pa ìtàn burúkú táwọn yẹn ti mọ̀ nípa NBA tó lè padà ní ǹjẹ́ mọ̀ pé àjọ NBA àjọ àwọn agbẹjọ́rò yìí ẹjọ́ mẹ́ta ló wà nílé ẹjọ́ táwọn ọ̀gá wọn kó wọn mì àwọn ọ̀gá NBA wọn kó wọn mì nígbà táwọn agbẹjọ́rò tọ́mà tí ń kó ara wọn jẹ́ tó ní pọ́ńdọ̀rọ̀ EFCC ẹni pé wàhálà ti ṣẹlẹ̀.
tani ó gbẹjọ́ rẹ̀.
so ẹ rí i pé nǹkan tó jẹ́ pé nísìn Nàìjíríà gbogbo wa tí Nàìjíríà bá ti wọnú ọ̀gbẹ́ni Olúmídé Àpáta náà a lè gbàdúrà pé kọ́lọ́ ràn wọ́n lọ́wọ́ káwọn náà ṣe òótọ́ lè ṣe.
ẹ ṣeun ẹ̀yin ará ilé kíní ọ̀hún wọ́n ti kọ̀ yín 08055 00985 nọ́mbà tí láǹfààní láti pè sí 08055 00985 ẹ káàárọ̀.
hello.
hello.
ẹ káàárọ̀ sà o.
ẹ káàárọ̀ alàgbà Sọjí ló sọ̀rọ̀ láti lọ́ọ̀ kankan.
alàgbà
Sọjí.
Bọ́lájí láti lọ́ọ̀ kankan.
Bọ́lájí láti lọ́ọ̀ kankan à ń gbọ́ yín o ìwé lẹ́fẹ́ pè kẹ́lù.
adúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín fún gbogbo akitiyan lórí ọ̀rọ̀ orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà. Ọlọ́run máa fún iṣẹ́ o.
àmín o.
ìpínlẹ̀ yóò ní dàrú.
àmín.
àdẹ̀kí alàgbà Michael Ogunṣínà.
ẹ káàárọ̀ sà mo kí yín sà.
èyí bẹ́ẹ̀ dá sí ni pé nípa àwọn ìyàwó. nígbà tí Nàìjíríà gba òmìnira a tún fẹ́ fira wa sínú ìnira padà ó túmọ̀ sí pé a ò ti kúrò nínú òmìnira nìyẹn. àwọn tó wà nídìí ètò ìṣúná owó wọ́n ń ṣe owó tó ṣe wù ọ́ nígbà tí wọ́n ò tí ì yáwó. torílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà bá tún wá lọ yáwó tán kí ló tó bá tó ṣẹlẹ̀ nípa owó tó bá tó yá. wọ́n tún ṣe é fún ọkùnrin náà. ẹ dákun ẹ bá wa rọ ààrẹ wa Muhammadu Buhari wọ́n ṣàkíyèsí owó tó fẹ́ lọ já. tí èèyàn bá fẹ́ yá owó lọ́dọ̀ èèyàn tó ti owó oṣù kan máa dá padà. èèyàn máa tọ́kọ̀ mọ ẹni tó máa ń ṣẹlẹ̀. dókítà fún ọ̀tọ̀ ọkọ̀wé àdéhùn fún omi 20 years. wọ́n ṣàkíyèsí ẹ̀ dáadáa. owó tó ń dúnà yá ní pé táwọn máa kó olórí ìjọba tán ẹni tó máa ránṣẹ́. Nàìjíríà ò ní dàrú.
àmín o ẹ ṣeun.
08055 00985.
hello. hello ẹ káàárọ̀.
Bọ́lájí sílẹ̀ látọ̀dọ̀. Bọ́lájí sílẹ̀ látọ̀dọ̀.
à ń gbọ́ yín sà.
ṣe rí nǹkan tí mo sọ fẹ̀sẹ̀ lórí ọ̀rọ̀ ètò ààbò ni. nígbà tí wọ́n dá àwọn Boko Haram dá gómìnà kan lọ́nà kéèsì lọ́wọ́ ayẹ bá wà lẹ́sẹ̀ mọ̀ pé kí àtẹ́tún pariwo fún ààrẹ tó kópa ọ̀rọ̀ àwọn ọ̀gá ológun ìsìn lọ́wọ́ ayẹ wà mọ̀ sí us òṣètò ààbò àbí ilé tí wọ́n sọ pé tó bá jẹ́ pé tálíkà kan ló ṣẹlẹ̀ sí kò tẹ́ sí ọ̀dọ́ o wọ́n wá ṣẹlẹ̀ sí gómìnà kan ní ìsìn àwọn afẹ́ múra láti tètè màbó ti pààrọ̀ àwọn lẹ́sẹ̀ mọ̀ sí kó ṣètò ààbò àbí nítorí àníkàlẹ̀ yáwó amíṣiṣẹ́ níkàlẹ̀ yáwó tó ń jẹ́ mínísítà pọ̀ fúnáàsì níkàlẹ̀ yáwó àdúrà kára wa bẹ gbèsè lọ́dọ̀ àwọn China nígbà bá wọn pè tọ́mọ́ tó wọn yáwó tán wà pọ̀ gbogbo owó tó ń gbà láti ṣe ìjọ yìí fẹ́ẹ́ àkáǹtì ẹ̀ kọ́mọ̀ wùlẹ̀ yáwó àbí òní yẹn tẹ́tí tẹ́tí gbà láti ọdún yìí fẹ́ẹ́ àkáǹtì ẹ̀ sẹ́ẹ̀rì ìlú fún nǹkan mìíràn.
ẹ ṣeun. 08055 00985. hello. hello. hello ẹ káàárọ̀. orúkọ yín bọ̀lẹ̀ tí ń pè wá sà. Mr. Olú láti Kúmápàyé.
láti fún wọn pààyè olódó.
Olódó à ń gbọ́ yín sà.
nígbà tẹ́ ẹ sọ pé wọ́n yáwó wọn ìyàwó Nàìjíríà máa ń gbàgbé ọ̀rọ̀ ni bí mo kọ́ tó ń ṣe wá báyìí àti wọ́n gbà. ṣé àṣìlẹ̀ Nàìjíríà láti gbogbo àwọn olóṣèlú tó kà fọ́ọ̀dù kọ́ńtì yìí kọ́mọ ìtọ́jú tọ́jú ṣé àṣìlẹ̀ ni. àwọn sọ pé wọ́n yáwó wọn ìyàwó ibo ọlọ́run jẹ́ owó ṣe gbogbo ilé ìyẹn pé sẹ́nà ìyá olóyá náà yá lówó káàbà kó kápò ara wa ṣé àní owó ṣe ni ilé náà ló wà náà ṣe nìyí ìjọba ọ̀bọ̀ fi náà sọ pé tí ọ̀rẹ́ mi olùṣàkó káàbà sọ sálárì tán tí gbọ̀ngàn tó mákindé kò ṣe mẹ́rin fún ọkà ní tó ló bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ tí ọ̀gá yá wọn lẹ́yìn tí òun ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ tó máa ń sọ̀rọ̀ mọ̀tọ́kìtì ìtàkọ́ni ojú àbẹ́tẹ̀ yìí lọ.
ẹ ṣé.
ẹ ṣeun.
ẹ ṣé.
08055 00985. hello.
hello.
hello sir ẹ káàárọ̀.
hello.
hello à ń lò ń bí o.
hello.
ẹ káàárọ̀. ṣe bá láǹfààní láti kó kára 08055 00985. ẹ káàárọ̀.
ẹ káàárọ̀ sà orúkọ yín bọ̀lẹ̀ tí pè wá. ojú òpó ètò orúkọ yín lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí.
ẹ̀rọ sà.
ẹ̀hẹ́ à ń gbọ́ yín báyìí.
ohun tí a fẹ́ sọ ni pé ogun wa ní àwọn sọ gbogbo wa náà jọ ní ìjọba ní lóòótọ́
ṣùgbọ́n tí a bá sọ pé kí ìjọba nàìjíríà kí wọ́n má ya owó lọ́ba padà yá bí wọ́n bá sọ ọ́ síbi pé káwọn yáwó náà ni ó gbọ́n kọ́ kárí gbogbo ìpè kí wọ́n lọ sí nàìjíríà ìgbà gbogbo títí tí ò dá iná tí ò dá kan bá ṣàtúnṣe gbogbo ẹ̀fọ́ fún wọn làwọn ọlọ́pàá ní bí nàìjíríà bá jẹ́ o. ẹ̀kú tó àwọn ìjọ
ẹ̀jọ̀. 08055009850 ó ní nọ́mbà tẹ́ láǹfààní láti pè sí ẹ káàárọ̀.
hello. hello ẹ káàárọ̀.
ẹ bá wa ayé rédíò yẹn sílẹ̀.
hello ẹ káàárọ̀.
ẹ káàárọ̀.
ẹ dákun ojú ìtàgé sílẹ̀.
yes sir ẹ káàárọ̀ sir.
orúkọ yín.
ẹ yí rédíò yín lọlẹ̀ sà àbí kẹ́ pa.
mo fi ọtí kú mbẹ.
ẹ ká lè gbọ́dọ̀ àwọn dáadáa.
orúkọ yín.
ẹ káàárọ̀. kẹ́lí ẹni ní suleman salawudeen láti Ògbómọ̀ṣọ́.
ok Suleiman Salawudeen.
kẹ́lí mo máa ń gbọ́ ètò yín ní gbogbo ìgbà.
ẹ ṣeun sọ.
ṣùgbọ́n mi ta ògùn sílẹ̀ ọlọ́run fún ní ọpọlọ àti làákàyè.
àmín o.
mo fẹ́ mọ nọ́mbà yín fúrí sẹ́ni pẹ̀lú yín ọ̀dùjọ sọ̀rọ̀.
wọ́n pè
torí pé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ tẹ́ mo ń sọ mo máa ń fẹ́ dá sí i but nọ́mbà mi kì í wọlé dàìlọ́kì ìyá ló wọlé láàárọ̀ yìí.
àdúpẹ́ o.
dàìlọ́kì ló ti tó oṣù mẹ́ta tí mo ti máa ń káyì but kì í wọlé.
èrò pọ̀ lójú.
àwọn ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀ gàgàdẹ̀ mo ń sọ bó tiẹ̀ jẹ́ pé àwọn káwà tá à ní lọ́ ń parẹ̀ ṣùgbọ́n àwọn tó pọ̀ jù tẹ́mi gan ni báyìí sọ tí wọ́n lè pa àkíyèsí pé kẹ́ ẹ pe àkíyèsí àwọn èèyàn sí ó wà.
ẹ ṣeun.
ẹ jọ mo fẹ́ kẹ́ fún mi kẹ́ ẹ lè tẹ́jú nọ́mbà yẹn sí mi nọ́mbà tí mi gẹ́gẹ́ ni.
àti
rí nọ́mbà yín.
ẹ ṣeun.
ẹ ṣeun. 08055009850. hello.
hello ẹ káàárọ̀ sá o.
ẹ káàárọ̀ sá orúkọ yín bẹ̀rẹ̀ tí ń pè wá.
Haruna ló ń sọ̀rọ̀ látòdòrò Ògbómọ̀ṣọ́.
ẹ káàárọ̀ bàbá wa.
mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin ọlọ́pọ̀lọ́mọ ẹ̀yàn kò ní bàjẹ́ o.
àmín o.
ẹ̀rí pé àti mọ́ sọ kó tó di òní pé Ọ̀yọ́ state ní gbogbo àwọn state yòókù fọ́nù tó fi mọ́ federal government gan. èmi dẹ̀ tó ń ṣe ládùúgbò aláàárọ̀ yìí pé gọ́vnọ̀ Ṣèyí Mákindé lágbó ọlọ́run ó di president Nàìjíríà torí ẹni tó mẹ́tò tó mẹ́tọ́ ni. gbogbo wa tá a sọ̀rọ̀ pọ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ léèwé wọ́n sì wáyé wọ́n ṣe gbogbo àwọn ètò yìí ó ti wáyé lé bí ọ̀sẹ̀ mẹ́ta mẹ́rin sẹ́lẹ̀ tí gọ́vnọ̀ Ṣèyí Mákindé ti ṣètò rẹ̀ kalẹ̀ gbọ́dọ̀ ẹ kò ní bàjẹ́ kọ́ lọ́wọ́ amọ̀déwọ́n tó yẹ ọjọ́ wáyé kí àwọn ọmọ ọlọ́mọ o ẹ kó tó mú kí Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn Michael Ogunṣínà náà àtẹ̀yà tọ́pọ̀ yòókù ajílẹ̀ tètè wa náà l'Ógbómọ̀ṣọ́ lè bàjẹ́ tó tó.
àmín o òkè òkú náà lè bàjẹ́ 08055009850.
ẹ káàárọ̀.
ẹ káàárọ̀.
ẹ káàárọ̀ sà.
ẹ kú iṣẹ́
Yes, sir. orúkọ yín sà.
àkó ọdún asọ́pọ̀ ẹ̀ o.
àmín o.
ẹjọ́ nǹkan tí mo fẹ́ rí sí ìdí lórí owó tí wọ́n fẹ́ já.
orúkọ yín sà.
owó tí wọ́n fẹ́ tó orúkọ mi ní Táíwò Ọládépò láti sàlẹ̀ tó.
Táíwò Ọládépò.
owó tí wọ́n fẹ́ já yẹn tí wọ́n sọ wípé a máa gbowó yẹn ní 20 years tí wọ́n máa gbà díẹ̀ díẹ̀ tí wọ́n fọkàn sí wípé tí wọ́n fẹ́ fi owó yẹn sí tí ó sì lè di 20 years tí ó mú èrè wá di 20 years. a ní pé tá a bá ń wo ìyàwó ìjọba ọdún ìkẹsìn wà lórílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà fún ohun tí mo fẹ́ sọ nìyẹn Ọlọ́run ó wà lọ́wọ́ o.
àmín ẹ ṣeun 08055009850 ẹ káàárọ̀.
wọlé.
ẹ wọ̀.
ẹ ti wọ̀ ẹ wọ̀.
ẹ káàárọ̀.
ẹ káàárọ̀ orúkọ yín bẹ̀rẹ̀ tí ń pè wá.
látòkùmọ̀ṣọ́ ní ìwé sọ látòkùmọ̀ṣọ́.
ẹ jẹ́ kúrò lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ rédíò yín sà.
àsìkò mẹ́ta ẹ dákun mo fẹ́ béèrè gbogbo owó àbáṣà tí wọ́n kó ń gbà yẹn ẹ dákun bó wọ́n ná owó yẹn tí wọ́n ti fẹ́ lọ yáwó ní China dákun gba àwọn lùsẹ̀ gbogbo ló kó gbogbo ẹ lówó yẹn wọlé sí. Hello.
à ń gbọ́ yín.
Hello.
Mr. Gbọ́dọ̀ dáná.
wọ́n ní ìbò náà.
owó yíyá ẹsẹ̀ kò ní kó bá wa Nàìjíríà.
wọ́n ti ń tàbá ìyàwó pé iṣẹ́ àkànṣe ẹ̀ nílò.
ẹ má bínú èmi náà bí mínísítà fún ètò òṣèlú.
à ń gbọ́ yín à ń gbọ́ yín à ń gbọ́ yín.
ẹ dákọ̀tà ẹgbà advice wọn because ó ti fẹ́ fún àwọn China ló padà kó wa lẹ́rú o because owó tó yá ẹ̀ ti pọ̀ jù because àwọn náà wọ́n gbówó wọlé yẹn ti ń gbówó wọlé àròjù tó ti dán kó owó sí ẹ̀sìn náà ń gbọ́ kí ni kókó nǹkan tẹ̀ ń fowó sí Nàìjíríà àrí kókó kankan ẹ dákọ̀ ẹ bá ọ sọ̀rọ̀
àwọn náà
wọ́n tó fún ọjọ́ láti pèrè.
ẹ ṣeun.
ọlọ́sìn jẹ́ kí China fún wa lẹ́rú.
08055009850.
fanìkan làmọ̀ sọ tíwọ́n.
ọlọ́kọ̀ China ni.
ọlọ́ọ̀ni jẹ́ bàbá wa ti lọ.
ìjà gbé ọkàn sí ẹ káàárọ̀.
ẹ káàárọ̀.
ẹ káàárọ̀ sà orúkọ yìí bẹ̀rẹ̀ tí ń pè wá.
authority ló ń pè láti ọ̀kàkà. authority láti ọ̀kàkà.
ọ̀kàkà à ń gbọ́ yín.
akínyàn akóòtò.
yes sir.
ọlọ́run aṣàgbára dọ̀tún.
àmín.
àdẹ̀tún kí fún ọdún léyà. ọlọ́run wa pẹ̀lú wa o.
àmín o.
àti àmọ̀ṣẹ́kùn máńkẹ́lì gúúsùn. ọlọ́run aṣàgbára dọ̀tún.
àmín o.
ọ̀yọ́ state ò ní ìbàjẹ́ lágbára ọlọ́run. orílẹ̀-èdè nàìjíríà náà dẹ̀ ní ìbàjẹ́. jẹ́rí ọ̀gá wa buhari tí nǹkan bá yé ọmọ tó ń sọ fún wa.
kí lẹ rí.
ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ nìkan ló ṣe lánàá. ọba àbáwọn pásọjọ́ àwọn ló ń kó ìjọba yẹn ní láti 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 ọgbà ìjọba ọmọ yìí gbèdé tá a jẹ. ẹnì wọn bá ṣe fi tí bàbá sẹ́wọ́n gbogbo tiẹ̀ wọ́n lè darí yòókù jì wa. kí ló dé táwọn wá ń ṣe báyìí. ṣe gbogbo náà ni wọ́n ń yá káàkiri wọ́n ń yá káàkiri àwọn owó tó ń bọ̀ lọ́wọ́ àbájá níbo ni àwọn yẹn ló wà lẹ́ni. wọn ò lé àkáǹtì ẹ̀ fún wa. gbogbo owó rẹ wa ni wọ́n lọ fi ń dìbò káàkiri lọ́sùn wọ́n lọ fi ń dìbò káàkiri ọ̀hún tó ti dábẹ̀rẹ̀ lé òdo ọlọ́dìbò ń bẹ̀ tó wọ́n yẹn ni wọ́n ń kó lọ ní. ọ̀hún nàìjíríà ṣe ń lọ báyìí. ẹ dẹ́kun tó lọ ọlọ́run ẹ bá pè wọ́n káàkiri kí ọ̀gá wa bàbá buhari wọ́n dẹ́kun wọ́n ṣàtúnṣe. ọlọ́run aláàánú yóò wà pẹ̀lú wa o.
ẹ ṣeun wọn tó ṣe ní jù báyìí lọ lórí ètò ìletò ọ̀fẹ́ ní òwúrọ̀ tòní ọ̀gbẹ́ni Major General Michael Okushina.
ẹ mú kí bu ara lé o ẹ̀yin tẹ fún alẹ́ ọdún mo kí n yín o.
ṣé kí wọ́n bá yín jẹun ọdún yìí torí àmọ̀tẹ́kùn òkè jẹun dídí tútù ni.
àròrọ mo jẹ dídí mo jẹ sísè dùn mo jẹ ráìsì.
ẹ ṣe àmọ̀tẹ́kùn
mo jẹ ráìsì.
títí ọjọ́ ajé Monday táti mọ̀ pàdé lórí ètò ìletò ọ̀fẹ́ ìta olùṣọ́lá lèmi jẹ́ Táyọ̀ láwọn tó pàdé.
Kúnlé Fani Ìfanlá ẹ kú kalẹ̀.
ojúmọ́ bá ti mọ́ ọ̀yẹ́ máa ń la o ọ̀yẹ́ tó la lónìí o ọ̀yẹ́ ire ni. àwa gbára lọ́wọ́ alára o wá di bàbá Olúyọ̀lé FM o ní bàbá wọn ó ní bàbá lágbo dédé wọn kàn ń bọ̀ yájà ní ìṣòro lóníṣẹ́ rẹ̀ àwa níwájú wọn ń tẹ̀lé wa láàfin èdè láàfin ọ̀rọ̀ láàfin àṣà láàfin ibi tí a ti ń mú ìlú dùn a ṣètò ogun àgbọ̀n gbẹ̀kalẹ̀ kálukú bù tiẹ̀ lọ Olúyọ̀lé FM 98.5 gẹ́rẹ́ o làbẹ̀wò tọkọ rẹ̀ lẹ́yìn gẹ́rẹ́ ẹ̀yin yòókù ẹ̀ máa tẹ̀lé wa gẹ́rẹ́.
Olúyọ̀lé FM 98.5 máa kó wọn jẹ̀ǹṣó.
gbẹ́gun bá pé gbà nítọ̀ jẹ́.
ológbòjò ní bàbá wọn.
òdìdẹrẹ́ ẹjẹ́ fọ̀pá lù àrán.
ká gògó fọ̀hún akínjáde.
ọ̀kọ́lọ́mbó kéde fẹ́ mọ̀ já ní para.
àṣàyàn ọ̀rọ̀ ṣe tán tí ó mọ kù bí òjò.
òdìdẹrẹ́ àgbọ́mọ̀mẹ́tì kúrú ètò.
akọ́nilẹ́kọ̀ọ́ fòye ayẹyẹ ni.
mo ní gbàgbé ìrònú àbáàdì.
òdìdẹrẹ́
bá a ṣe dọ́là tán ládé erin.
abẹ́yìn mẹ́tàn.
abísọ̀sọ̀ mú òdi.
ìfọ̀rọ̀wérọ̀.
orin àgbọ́dúnú tó ń tàgbéyẹ̀wò àwọn tí ń ṣẹlẹ̀ láwùjọ.
láfitẹ́ ètò lódù.
ifá àkànlò èdè tó tèdè tó jíire la ṣẹ́ fún.
bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ṣe ń gbọ́ níkànnì Olúyọ̀lé 98.5 FM.
náà lẹ́ẹ̀mọ̀ gbọ́ lókògùn FM 96.3 àti ajílétí FM 92.1.
tó fi dórí ìtàkùn àgbáyé.
ní gbogbo ọjọ́ sátidé àbámẹ́ta láàrin aago 9 àárọ̀ sáago 11 àárọ̀.
bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe máa pàdé àwọn àgbà pèdèpèdè bí òkúta kọ méjì tí rí inú èkùrọ́.
yíyà àwa ni o bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ń pa wá ni àwa ni àwa náà sì kọ́ ọlọ́run ọba ni odídẹrẹ́ ẹyẹ òkun àlùkò ẹyẹ ọ̀sà bẹ́ẹ̀ bá jòǹgbé ẹ mọ̀mọ̀ jòǹgbé ẹ pàdé wa adémọ́lá adéníyì àti wálé rufai lórí ètò tuntun odídẹrẹ́ lórí ìkànnì yìí.
odídẹrẹ́ ọ̀rọ̀
lẹ́yẹ ń gbọ́.
sẹ̀kẹ̀ndùgbẹ̀ BCOS kórè wọ̀lú àgbọ̀pọ̀nula ọ̀pọ̀ kún ọ̀yọ́kù polówó ọjà òun kéde lójú bọ́ńdù ọ̀pọ̀ jù ẹ̀ lọ àfikún tuntun wá dé báwọn àkókò kéde àti polówó ọjà lámìjìjì Olúyọ̀lé 98.5 àmìjìjì ajílété 92.1 àmìjìjì òkè ògùn 96.3 BCOS TV lórí ìkànnì 113 ti Star Times àti ìkànnì 105 ti Go TV sẹ̀kẹ̀ndùgbẹ̀ BCOS TV kọ̀mọ̀sùn bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ọmọ wo ìròyìn àìlópin fàájì jaburata ẹ̀kọ́ rẹpẹtẹ ẹ̀yìn lórí BCOS TV àwọn rédíò àmì ìjìjì BCOS ń kọ́ o ẹ̀yin náà wò ó kámíọ̀n jíjẹ Olúyọ̀lé Ajílété àti Òkè Ògùn kó polówó ọjà ẹni tàbí gbékéde ẹni papọ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀kan ṣoṣo la ṣe pè ní ṣẹ̀kẹ̀dùgbẹ̀ bó ti kárí tìbútòrò ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ló tún wọ àwọn ìpínlẹ̀ tó yí ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ká ẹ pè 08152719250 BCOS alára àgbàyídá tó pèrègede.
àmì òjèjì rédíò tí ó láfiwé Olúyọ̀lé FM àwa ni bàbá.
aago mẹ́sàn-án ti lò ètò dídẹrẹ́ náà láti máa mú wá sí etí gbọ́ wa.
onídẹ̀rẹ́ ni o aago mélòó ló lò.
aago mẹ́sàn-án.
mẹ́sàn-án àárọ̀ sí mẹ́sàn-án àárọ̀ àbí talẹ́.
tààrọ̀ la wa.
wọlé àmì wa ọba jàdálẹ̀ ọ̀tọ̀ èèyàn gbọ́dọ̀ síkà lára ọkọ̀ o ẹnìkan ti síkà mẹ́rin lára ọkọ̀
lóòótọ́
tí wọ́n kọ àárọ̀ la wà sí ọwọ́ ajẹ́ jẹ́sà òun ní àárọ̀ la wà.
àárọ̀ la wà.
ẹ̀ la wà kéde àwọn aláwìlé
ó ṣe wọ́n jà yìí.
láìláì lálá tẹ bá fi sí wa lẹ́nu.
ẹnkọ
ẹlẹ́dẹ̀bẹ̀tì.
1 2.
láìláì lálá tẹ bá fi sí wa lẹ́nu. kàlẹ́ mú sẹ̀rí òkú dàlá ẹ̀yà. ẹnkọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí. láìláì lálá tẹ bá fi sí wa lẹ́nu. láìláìláìlá tàbá fi sí wa lẹ́nu kàlẹ́ róòmù sẹ̀rí òbódàlá ẹ̀yà mùsùlùmí kì í wọlé láì sálámà mùsùlùmí tó wọlé láì sálámà kèfèrí ló wọlé ẹ̀dẹ̀ sáyà ẹlẹ́gbọ́dé mọ jẹsàrà ìgbọ́ lọ́dọ̀ rẹ̀ Olúwa mo ní láìláìlá tẹ bá fi sí alẹ́ nu tẹ bá gbà sí alẹ́ nu láìláìlá tẹ bá fi sí wa tẹ bá gbà sí alẹ́ nu ngàlẹ́ òmù ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ mọ́tàlá ìrà. Tẹsí àtẹwò ni àtẹwò ni.
ẹni tí wọ́n bá gbé òun kí bá ti gbé òun. ọgbọ́dọ̀ ti mú nǹkan gbóná.
ọgbọ́dọ̀ mú nǹkan gbóná. ọgbọ́dọ̀ mú nǹkan gbóná. wà á máa yíyan o irú nǹkan gbóná wo ni o.
kìí ṣe ọtí o.
kọfí torí pé bá a ti sọ̀rọ̀ ní ìsìn. ọmọ àlè wọ́n ti tún mú nǹkan yẹn wọ́n tó dé. ojú láti wò lè ṣiṣẹ́ rédíò wọn máa sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ wọn ni àwọn kí ni àwa mọ̀ wọn wọn ti mú nǹkan wọn tó dé òrùkè lásán ni sọ̀rọ̀ ni Ọlọ́run ní bá wa sọ awakọ̀
àmúgbóná fẹ́ lé o
adúpẹ́
àtẹ̀gbọ́ ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa kí ẹ wà lé pàápàá jùlọ àwa mùsùlùmí tí a wà ní ọdún Iléyá Ọlọ́run ọba tí ó sọ ẹ̀mí wa dọ̀dún yìí
bẹ́ẹ̀ni ó kòrò
Ọlọ́run kò ní ṣe eléyìí ní
àṣemọ́ fún wa
Ọlọ́run ó jẹ́ àsọpọ̀ rẹ̀ lẹ́yìn
inshallah bẹ́ẹ̀ni àmín
ajẹ́rì òtítí baba ajé
àṣẹwà
ajẹ́ tọ́lọ́gẹ̀nẹ̀ ń gbé ní aṣọ rẹ̀
àṣẹwà
àkókò nǹkan tán fún ọ̀rọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ni ó rí o
àṣẹwà adúpẹ́
atúndé lórí ètò wa ètò yìí
adé àwa náà rè é àwòrán bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ
bí orin ní jẹ́ láàárọ̀
Ọlọ́run bá ń gbọ́ ń bẹ lára mi yàtọ̀ sí talágànà
gbogbo abonú tèmi ti ń ká òkè
ọkọ̀ ilé ìjàlẹ̀
àwa lè sọ̀rọ̀ fún mi mọ́ta
ọkọ̀ ilé ìjàlẹ̀
lè sọ̀rọ̀ fún mi tí
àwa náà rè é àwòrán bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ àwa náà ń ṣe bẹ̀bẹ̀ lórí ọ̀lẹ́ ilé
débọ́lá
sa
àwa náà rè
é ló ń bọ̀ dá wa àbúrúkọ Akim Karim ó wà ní Faransé ní ìsìn bàbá dúdú abẹ́sìn bíi ọmọ pọ́nrọ̀ ìlú èbó bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn bá pupa yọmọ pupa sí ni ẹ̀gbọ́n àǹtí Tóyìn ẹ̀gbọ́n ìyàwó mi èyàn fẹ́ lè sọ pé Sahara Desert ti ń gbé lójúdù tó wá jáde kirimu